Want to do a recap of last week?
I could do a recap starting from where we are now and kind of moving backwards.
That's a weird way to do it, but why not?
it's easiest way for my brain. So right now we should be just getting done with killing those skeletons in the crypt that we went to because Beller Hemlock wanted us to come and take a look at a disturbance that Father Xantus, I forget his name, Father something.
Xantus, yeah.
Oh, Xanta. He wanted us to come and take a look at some discrepancies and disturbances at a crypt in the boneyard behind the cathedral. We went there, we slew 2 skeletons, and found a used-up robe, a magic robe that had made the 2 skeletons, we think. And
bones.
Yeah, and then I forget the guy's name. It started with an E, something like Ezekiel or Ezakian or something. Was his tomb that was disturbed, and I keep forgetting. Was his remains still there, or were they not?
No, they were not.
Yeah. Okay, so that guy's remains were gone in the crypt. Killed the 2 skeletons. Found the used up robe. We're on our way out at the end, but before that, we had slept at the Rusty Dragon and talked a little bit with Miko. We and Manus and everybody. Well, we all did. We walked around the town, went and talked to Broderick Quink, the Thessalonian sage. Then we went and talked to the guards at the prison that Lothar knows so well. And they didn't want us around. Oh, yeah, because the sheriff wasn't there either. We also went to the Pillbug's Pantry. Oh, that was right before the crypt. We went to the Pillbug's Pantry because they wanted us there for the help with the crypt. Oh, yeah, we went to the White Deer Inn. Went to go have some food, but it wasn't popping enough for us before we left. And I think that's about it.
There was a lot of stuff you missed, but I'll fill it in. Some noteworthy people that you met. The guards, they had names. You only knew one of them. His name was Benjamin. He was an asshole. Very sarcastic asshole. And his friend, quote-unquote, Mr. Johnson. You met the mayor, Mayor Devrin. She didn't really have many nice things to say about you guys, mostly based on who you were associating with.
Me.
You guys, at the beginning of the session, talked with Aldrin Foxglove, and he invited to have a meal with you and asked you guys to come and meet him in the next few days before he leaves town. That was the man you saved from the catastrophe that was the festival.
Yep.
You guys also met Broder Quink. He was the old hermit that lived on the edge of town that you guys contemplated stealing from.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that paranoid old man. And like at the very beginning of the session, towards the very beginning, you were down at the Rusty Dragon and you saw Amiko and her father, Lanjuko, get in a big argument, and she got disowned. And
that's right. He was trying to tell her that they were packing up and going back to Magnamar.
Yeah. He gave her an ultimatum. And then, we last left off with you guys, like, leaving the crypt and, like, Father Xantus coming out with Sheriff Hemlock once they saw you guys come back from the crypt, like, once you exited it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we can start. You guys do have a few moments if you want it before they get here.
I think for my combat tracker, I think, Chase, you have to delete the magic weapon. It won't let me delete it. It's weird.
Yeah, no, he can't. can only delete effects that you've
There
applied.
it goes.
Was that you or me, Jacob?
What?
I was trying to delete it at the same time I think you were, so I was just wondering if you or I did it.
I'm fairly confident you can't, but we can check that in the future.
Okay.
So yeah, now we're waiting for the sheriff to get here, Hemlock.
Yeah, like I said, him and Father Xantus and a few of his acolytes are heading over here, but if you want, you have a few moments to your guys' self if you need to talk about anything.
Do they
Sweet.
look
I did like
they're getting, do they look okay? Like not angry at us or anything like that?
No, they don't look angry at you. I mean, they look like Father Xantus looks as worried as he did earlier. And Sheriff Hemlock, I mean, like any good sheriff, is pretty good at hiding his emotions. He has a face he puts on when he's at work.
Mhm.
Okay, well, they approach with the acolytes coming behind them, being all acolyte-y. And by that, I mean very quiet and attentive. And Father Xantus, at the head of all of them, says, what did you find down there? Were there any goblins?
We saw goblin rats, we think.
But there were none in there?
Not yet.
Okay. And he looks at the acolytes behind him and he's like, please, sons, daughters, go take care of the crypt. It's safe in there, right?
yeah.
And then he shoos them off and starts slowly walking with behind them to the crypt.
There was a couple skeletons down there, but we kind of handled them. And there's no body down there anymore, so that's kind of bad. But looks like you have a job, Sheriff.
He's actually writing all of this down as you're saying it. He's
I don't remember anyone grabbing the rug bones. I wanted to, just to have it in the show, because didn't...
I grabbed it, looked at it,
okay.
threw it on the
You're the
ground,
one who
and spit
figured
on
it
it, if you remember.
Oh,
It
you
was
did.
useless to me.
That's right. That's right. It's still useful as evidence. So I grabbed it. And I throw it on the ground, and then I spit on it. I'm just kidding. I throw it on the ground, and I'm like, this, I think, is, according to Milamber, is what caused the skeletons to be there. You can call me Mill, okay? Mills. That's me.
I think it would be best if you didn't go around telling any of the townsfolk about this. They've already been through enough. There really was some kind of foul play here. I think we can take care of it.
I agree. There's a lot of stress in the town right now.
Did you find anything else of interest down there?
That'd be it. There were tracks of goblins, and then there were human tracks, maybe? That's right. So someone's working with the goblins.
Human.
Well, humanoid. Yeah. It's our size.
Okay, interesting. He's writing.
I have another point as well, when you're ready.
Of course.
What does the name Tobin, Ian Tobin mean to you? Isaac Tobian.
He pauses for a second and he's like, he was a priest?
Okay.
Is that who you're referring to?
Was he
Ian Tobin.
Was he just a priest, or was he like a big time priest from before?
Father Xantus was the man who replaced him. He used to run the church before we built the cathedral.
Oh. How long would you say that was ago?
It burnt down 5 years ago.
Oh, did he burn down with it?
Yes, many people were lost in the fire, including the father.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah. I remember hearing about that fire. It was devastating.
Yes.
Yeah, there was actually like 6 or 7 buildings, including the like all the way up to the white deer that got burnt down. There were only 2 deaths that were confirmed. There might have been, Patreons of the white deer, because there isn't really a like proper procedure like you would have nowadays for clearing out buildings. Uh, they don't have that kind of response force in most places. But the father and his daughter both died in the fire. That's known.
What was his daughter's name? Because I've lived here this whole time, pretty much.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
maybe know her name.
Yeah, I can give you her name. I just don't know it off the top of my head.
Yeah, because I don't think it's come up. We just found out about Father Building just now when we went down there, right?
Well, I mean,
Obviously, I would.
yeah, you would know about it, but like, yes, as players, you wouldn't know, or you've just found out. Sorry.
Yeah, I just started taking notes last week, not the first session. I'm trying to be better.
And
There's a note section, right? That we can have public. Up at the it's one of the sidebar tabs. I think we can all
It's
mess
so
with
much
it.
easier for me to write on a piece of paper. That's what I'm doing.
All right. You should go look at it because I'm trying to write stuff in it.
yeah, I don't know her name off the top of my head, but she or he would give it to you, like the sheriff would.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll find it in a few moments, but I don't know it right now.
So, Sheriff, where do we go from here?
Well, unless there's any leads you've forgotten, I would say just go back to what you were doing before, and if we find anything else or you find anything else, then we'll take care of it then. I'll keep you informed, like I said.
Are there any tracks around the outside of the crypt that match the bigger tracks we saw inside?
I was gonna say, yeah, I could try and look on the ground to see if there's something going away from the crypt.
I don't remember which one of you looked for tracks, but one of you did.
I think both of us did. I was looking for going in. I mean, tracks around it. And I don't remember what I rolled.
Yeah, you guys didn't. You rolled bad, which is why I didn't give you any information.
Okay, so we don't know shit. Tracks going
Like I told you, like there are a bunch of tracks, but it is like a centerpiece for the grave, so there's like dozens of them, and it's hard to discern, at least for you guys.
What time of day is it? This is the morning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, okay, Sheriff. Let us know if you need help with any of this stuff. I guess we're gonna head out. You can think of anything for us, but
Of course, you know where the guardhouse is.
yeah. Okay. Thank you.
And he doesn't even move from his spot. He keeps like writing notes down.
So where should we go? Lothar, you know the town the best.
Well, depends on what you want to do. I'm kind of on the inkling of scouting the outskirts of town.
I got the name for the daughter.
Okay, sweet.
It's Nulia. She has the same last name, but her first name's Nulia.
How do you spell that?
Nualia.
Okay.
I guess as we're leaving the boneyard, can we look to see if there was like any other crypts were disturbed at the same time or around the same time?
Yeah, you could go do that. I mean, since the Fathers is a more recent crypt, you'd be going like farther into the boneyard, but that's totally doable.
Okay.
Yeah. Just as a like cursory glance, I can tell you like none of them have been opened. Like they're still sealed.
Okay. None of them look like they're for like closed recently or anything like that.
I guess if you gave me a perception check as you're like checking them out, I might be able to give you some more information.
Nice.
Yeah, so the few other crypts that exist here, when you check them out, it doesn't look like any of them have been tampered with recently, which is, exactly how they should be.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I think the most recent crypt after Father Tobin's is like 30 years old, like pretty close to the foundation of the city. It's like a nobleman's crypt, and it hasn't been disturbed.
Alright. Well, should we go? I guess we could talk to that Foxglove guy.
I was about to say, I want some money. We went out of our way, and he offered. I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are we
he's-
at again?
You guys are in the Sandpoint Boneyards. And it sounds like you're heading to the Rusty Dragon.
Yeah.
Okay, when you get there, Mr. Foxglove, I'll reshare his image for you guys, is actually enjoying a extended breakfast with some of his manservants.
Boss love. Remember us, eh?
Of course. No one's shutting up about you now. I thought I was the only one who'd noticed, but Heroes of Sandpoint, I welcome you. Come, sit at my table, eat my food, and drink my drink.
Oh, I very much so accept. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I follow you. If you allow it.
And if you wouldn't mind, Lothar, I'd love to hear a recount of your daring acts in front of the cathedral. I was in no shape to watch any of it.
Well, it's quite simple. I shot a few goblins in the throat, and, yeah. That's pretty much it. We killed them all. It was very easy. You were running like a coward. I know Anamara went to go console you.
Of course,
Feel better?
I don't have the strengths or any of the skills that you possess. At best, I'm a meager hunter. Not any kind of fighter like yourselves. Thank the gods for people like you.
If you can kill a boar, you can kill a goblin. Just saying, Foxglove. You've tried.
It's funny that you bring that up. I was actually planning on going hunting for boar sometime in the next few days, and I was wondering if all of you would like to accompany me.
Malamber knows this, so yes.
Love hunting.
Yeah, I guess I could join.
Okay, and he looks over at one of his servants, and he's like, "Go down to the Goblin Swash stables, get our horses ready. Does today work for you? I'm sorry."
Yeah, we're not doing nothing. Right now, of course.
Perfect.
An idea to go out to the wilderness anyway. Just look for things.
Boy.
Possible.
Go get those horses ready. And you see the manservant run off. Make sure you bring Gerald with you.
Who's Gerald?
My other manservant. He was taking care of some affairs in town for me.
Okay.
I'm trying to get a seat at the Sandpoint Theater. They're doing a reenactment of the events at the cathedral here soon, and I wanted to be the first in line.
Oh, yeah, that was quick.
Reenactment. Do we get any royalties off? Well, I look at this and I was like, we gotta go talk to the guy at the theater later, though.
I agree.
Sidek Drogus makes haste with any kind of activities like this of this level of grandeur. He is an entertainer after all, and a professional at that.
What's his name?
Cydric Drogus. He's the owner of the Sandpoint Theater. And it's actually like one of the most prestigious places in Sandpoint. Like, it's good enough that it competes with the playhouses in Magnamar, even though it doesn't have anywhere close to the budget they would have.
Oh, wow, nice.
Wow.
How do you spell his name?
Cyrdak, and then his last name is Drokkus.
Thank you.
I'm
That was
feeling
so
it.
off.
That's
Oh my God.
that's Cydric Drogus. It seems right to me. Unless it's supposed to be Cyrdic, but that seems more like Nordic to me. Now, I was under the impression that a few of you were locals.
You should know that I have been in the jail a lot.
Well, I mean, I think we've all been in the jail a few times, eh? And he, like, nudges you on the shoulder.
I just said,
I kind of look at Scans as nudge and I'm just like, I don't think you have.
Of course I have. I mean, a man like me, we all, like I said, we all end up in there every now and then. Sometimes you just have a little too, and then he, like, does, like, a drinking gesture, and you have too many, and then he, like, points at a pretty girl in the bar. Things just happen, I understand.
Yes. Being in the drunk tank, it's quite fun.
And sometimes the law doesn't do as much as it should, and I know you have to overstep those bounds. I mean, what would the town have done without men like you? And women, of course.
Thank you.
Malamber, he just kind of nods them all and he walks up to his room real quick. Says he's got to go get something. Okay.
We'll be ready within the hour.
Alright, I'll be down in time. And then he trots off.
Now, Lothar, are you the only local here?
Aye. The rest are just visiting.
Well, as you probably know, we'll be going into the Tickwood Forest. I was wondering if you knew any good hunting spots. I've heard of a few, but I'm sure a local such as yourself would know something a little bit better than the Devil's Platter.
Well,
You want to give me like a knowledge geography or a knowledge nature?
I don't have that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Then I'll just give you like a like general piece that you would know. And like Anamara, I know you're not a Sandpoint local, but you are local to the Hinterlands, so you could also like throw something out here if you want.
I do geography.
Yeah, geography works perfectly. Okay. Yeah, if you're doing boar hunting, unless you want to travel extremely far away, like a needless amount of distance, then the Devil's Platter is the best place to go to hunt boar.
Okay. Yeah, so that sounds like the right spot to go.
And he looks at you a little confused, Lothar, and then back at Anamar, and I was like, and he's like, uh, are you a local as well?
Well, not in town. My family and I live out in the Midlands.
Ah, roughing it. I love it. Very rugged. Well, it shouldn't be that long of a ride to get where we're going. They said less than 2 miles.
That's not too bad at all.
No, not at all. Oh, and a little bit more for you, Calvin. Even though it's called like the Devil's Platter, it's like a relatively safe place of the Wormland. And it's just like a hunting ground. Like, the scariest things that you'll see in there are like either fire pelt cougars, or if you're extremely unlucky, like the rare giant tick. But there aren't even any goblin tribes there. Like, it's a very untainted place of nature, which is kind of surprising. I don't actually know the reasoning behind that, but I know it comes up later. I know it gets brought up later. Not that it's like a key feature. Yeah, so unless you're like, I don't know what the phobia of bugs is, then you should be fine.
Oh, I remember that one. It's like entomology or some weird shit.
Yeah, I think it starts with an E. I think you're right.
Well, Melamber comes back down the stairs, if they're all still down there. And he's dressed far differently than he was before.
Yeah. If Anamara and Lothar are willing to indulge, he's like I'd call him like an endless cache of stories when it comes to like his life in Magnamar. But he's way more interested in you guys and like the story of like your triumph in front of the cathedral. He's really trying to like build up all the details about it. And like quiz you guys about it, kind of like he wants to know like the logic behind the things you're doing and stuff like that, but he won't get into too much of it until all of you are here. Does it take a long time for Milamber to change?
It takes, I mean, he comes back down now, but it took a little bit, and you can see why, because now he's got a chain shirt over his, he's not wearing his robes anymore, and he's put on a cloak, which he threw up over his head. I don't know if you can see that little portrait, but I'm kind of just going off that.
Yeah.
You can see he's got a quiver on his back now with a bunch of arrows. He still has scrolls and some potions on his belt right in front of him. And obviously he's still got his backpack. It's not on the portrait, but that, and then across his chest, opposite the quiver that he also has on his back, is a ginormous looking bow. But it's still Melamber. You can still see his face, and he still pretty much looks the same. He's the same height and all that, but he looks... Somehow he made himself look more scrawny, because he looks a little bit stronger now. He walks with a more of an ease to his gait. But it's Melamber, because he walks right up to you, and you don't see the staff or the crossbow on him anymore.
Did you just go to the barber shop?
I went and did the facial reconstruction. No. He's just same guy, but he's changed his equipment and his gear pretty much.
That chainmail makes you... It's very slimming.
Right? So, and he doesn't say anything about it. He's just like, well, I'm ready when you guys are.
Okay.
Of course. Let's get on the road. The boys should be outside any moment now. You know, as you guys are like getting out of the booth and you start walking that way, and he's like, I would love to know who all of you are. Anamara, Melamber, Lothar, whoever wants to start. Just want to know the heroes of Sandpoint.
I'm no hero, but I've helped, obviously, in this whole thing. I'm not the best thief here, but I've been a thief for a long time. I've pretty much been a fall guy. I've been in the prison too many times, more times than I like to count, and I'm hoping to move forward from that. This is a good opportunity, in my opinion. I don't mean anything ill towards you, but I just don't really too much care about everyone that much, but I guess I realize I should. And I'm sorry if I was a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Mean. I'll just use the word mean to you.
No worries, Lothar. I totally understand where this comes from. You wouldn't be the first man to look at me the way you do, and I try to understand it as best I can. But I am very much enjoying the whole reluctant anti-hero trope you have going on here. It's fresh. I haven't seen it on someone of your quality in, well, quite some time.
I figured this is a time for change. I might as well take it.
Perfect.
I'm getting old.
It's never too late to start. And what about you, Anamara? You seem to have some knowledge of this place. Who is the enigma that is Anamara?
Well, I grew up in the hinterlands outside of Sandpoint, and with my family, and they run a small apothecary alchemy shop. My parents are gonna pass it along to my brothers, and I'm not gonna run it because I'm not good enough.
Oh,
Which is correct. I'm not as good at sales as my brother, and not as good of an alchemist as my younger brother. But I'll just help around until I can find a better thing to do. That's my plan.
I love it. I love it. I'm in a similar position to you. Not anything as fancy as some herbal remedies or alchemical potions, but the family business is not something I excel at either. Too many siblings. I heard that thrown out once, but I think my mother was just being a little too nice to me that day. Melamber, what about you? I don't even know where you're from.
You ever heard of Galduria? Southeast of here.
Of course, I'm a well-traveled man.
Yep, my parents own a shipping business up there on the Ember Lake and this river,
Really, what is your name?
the Lead Black River. My name is Melamber Majir. Our parents are the Majirs. Both Varisians. Native to Varisia, obviously.
You know what? I told you I wasn't much into the family business, but that name has definitely been spoken at the table.
Oh yeah, they operate up and down the river. They even operate down here. I haven't done an hour's worth of work with them though, because I have no desire. But it's definitely helped pay off, and he looks at his equipment and stuff, and his bow looks really nice on him.
I'm seeing a pattern amongst all of us. Lothar, do your parents run some kind of business you're not involved in?
No. My parents are they're back in Magnemar. I don't really write like my parents.
That's a tough one.
Yes. I pretty much was kicked out for my choices in life at 17. Hence the reason I ended up here.
Well, it seems like you're doing good for yourself.
Yeah.
How long have all of you been fighting goblins?
One day,
I hate goblins. I pick them off with my gun as much as I can.
It's a fine tool you have there.
Aye. She does well. She's loud, but she does the trick quite well.
I hadn't heard one in person before. I've heard about them, but once I saw you wielding it, I knew what it was. It's quite fascinating, and if you wouldn't mind, I'd love to take a look at it.
Sure. Be nice to it.
Okay, and this is like if you imagine if you handed like a little kid like a pristine like greatsword or something, he's like just in awe, and he's like kind of stunned when you hand it to him, and he's like, I don't even know, and he like puts his hand on the butt. He's like, how to properly hold it.
Just don't touch that thing right there. He points to the trigger. Just don't touch that.
Okay, don't touch the thing.
Don't touch the thing.
Anamara, you're from the hinterlands. You must have been fighting goblins all your life.
Well, we don't really fight them as much as kind of like shoo them away. But also we kind of trade with them too, because they sometimes have stuff and we have stuff.
Trading with goblins, that is fascinating. I've heard that is a dangerous proposition.
Yeah, we don't really get much out of them, and they get a little bit more out of us, but it keeps us from getting attacked too much. So they kind of taught us about bombs, or taught me about bombs, and we'll see if they actually works out or not. But yeah, that was my
Fascinating.
learning of bombs was from the goblins.
I didn't know those creatures had that kind of capacity for knowledge.
I think it's more they just mix things together and see if it blows up. It's not really knowledge, but they kind of explain it well, so I know what they need.
An accident. That sounds much more like a goblin. I should have guessed.
Yep.
Do any of you have, well, you must have many harrowing tales of adventures. And you see the stable boys come up, the manservants, and they have a bunch of horses for all of you. He's like, please, as we begin our adventure, I'd love to hear them.
I once stole an apple out of a marketplace.
Obviously, you must have been trying to feed orphans. Please, tell me more.
I didn't even eat the apple. I threw it away.
How chivalrous.
I'm a bad boy.
He winks at you.
I was just kidding.
Aldrin Foxglove. My life has been quite boring. This is
Probably the most exciting thing I've done in 12-something years. I've been basically going to school that whole time and practicing with my bow and the arcane arts at the Twilight Academy.
This is
The first time I've really had to draw in an actual combat ever. I mean, draw spells.
You had me fooled from the beginning. I would have never guessed if you hadn't brought it up.
We've done. I don't know if you're being sarcastic, but we do a lot of mock combats at the Twilight Academy.
So
I was able to keep my cool pretty good.
No sarcasm.
For real.
I didn't mean to offend you. I apologize.
I'm offended, but I deal with it.
The Foxgloves are known for their honesty. It would be very hard for me to pull something over your head. Clearly.
We should, after this, we should get the Magirs and the Foxgloves together and come to some sort of arrangement. Something I can get some consignment off of. He's not really talking to you, he's just kind of musing it as he taps his chin.
Well, if there's something specific I can interest you in, let me know. But I think the first thing that comes to mind is offering you a place in Magnamar. I assume you'll all end up there at some point. I mean, it's the biggest place around here. My family would love to meet some strapping young, well, folk like you.
I guess we could.
Sure. I'd rather not go back to that shithole, but I will if I have to.
We will be in the classiest of establishments there. The best places you can think of. As I said, my family's big in Magnamar.
I was just curious, Foxwood. Have you ever known goblins to amass in such great numbers around here? As they did yesterday when they attacked Sandpoint?
I'll be honest, I don't know much about goblins, but that was the most I've ever seen.
That was not normal. No.
Well, November looks. So we had 2 manservants, and everybody's got a horse, and same with Alder.
There's actually 3 servants now.
Okay.
So Alder and 3 manservants, and then just us 3, right?
As far as fair enough.
So that's 7 of you as of right now. So yeah, Aldern, Foxglove, then his 3 servants, that's 4, and then the 3 of you, so 7.
Are we still getting ready to go, or did we start going already?
No, you guys are like on your horses. It's like he said, it's probably about 2 miles, maybe a little bit less. It's gonna take like about a half hour for you guys to get there. And I think you'll if you haven't picked up on it yet, some of his questions are going a little bit beyond like friendly as they were at first. And he's like, he's very much probing and trying to get as much information out of you guys as possible. Like even things that like don't relate at all to like what happened today. Just like trying to pick up as much information about you as he can. Even simple things like favorite colors, random little stuff like that.
And I'm kind of trying to look deep at him, like read between the lines and all to see if he's got any other ulterior motives or anything. Trying to sense his other motives.
Don't even get me started. You can give me a sense motive check without fucking... It's called subtlety, bud. I believe in you. It was all good until you said that.
And dead.
Yeah, no, he's like, you get basically what I said. Like, he's just trying to pick up as much information about you guys as possible. And I would assume, he's just like fangirling over you guys. So I guess it depends on how you receive that. Like, because I imagine none of you are used to this level of attention. Like, the focus is completely on the 3 of you.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of like it. I'm smiling a lot and talking to him whenever he asks questions and all that. Not really telling any lies. I might be trying to make my part of the combat at the cathedral, if we ever talk about that, sound better than it was. But that's about it.
Lothar definitely interjects and says, I shot him in the throat. No, I shot that one in the throat.
And I was like, yes, but I put almost all of them to sleep, in my own opinion. Yeah. I helped as much as I could. But anyway, how exactly does one go about hunting boar at Foxville? I've never done it.
Oh, this is a gentleman's hunt, if anything, and I would love to teach all of you about it. Has anyone here done... Well, I assume, Anamar, you must have done plenty of hunting where you're from.
A little bit, but not super well at it. That's more like other family members, they're better at that.
Oh, okay. Well, the basic idea is we take one of these, and then he pulls out, like, a really long spear that has a couple pointed ends on it. He's like, this is called a boar spear. It's specifically for hunting boar. I know, extremely obvious. Not creative at all. Maybe we should think of something. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna use these spears and our horses to separate one of the boars from any other boars if there are any around it. And we'll do this by finding somewhere on the Devil's Platter where they would gather, or at least where we can find a few of them. This would be watering holes or any place with some kind of soft terrain where they could dig up roots very easily.
Okay.
And we'll, like I said, try and separate one of them. And when we do that, we'll thrust one spear into it to weaken it, and then we'll hop down off of our horses. And, well, I think you know the rest of it. We just stab it until it stops moving. But please, try and be gentlemanly about it, and we don't want to cause any needless pain. End its life quickly.
I'll use my gun, if that's alright.
There's like a split second of hesitance before he's like, I would love to see you in action with that. But like I said, I don't know the workings of your gun, but if it's going to cause needless pain, I would appreciate it if you didn't.
Oh, no. This thing is gonna kill faster than that spear. And also, you could just have me set up in an area and send them my way, and then I could just pick it off.
This is very much against the whole idea of the hunt. Trying to keep this as traditional as possible.
I'm not putting one of those in my hands.
And I didn't say you have to, but the skill required to put the boar in a specific place, I don't think all of you possess it, and it would take more than just me.
You know what? Fox left on it. I'll try it.
And he gets
Try it.
this big grin on his face, and he's like, I really do appreciate it. Besides, this shouldn't be anything too troublesome. After all those goblins you slayed, I think a boar is within your ballpark.
Yeah. I'll try not. I don't think I was supposed to use bombs for this, right?
I mean, he said it would be ungentlemanly to use a gun, so probably not. You could ask, though.
I'll just use the spear thing, but we'll see. We'll see how I go.
Okay, well, I will throw some boar spears in there for you guys. Also, if you end up needing them, there are some potions in the party sheet that I think were left in there for Matt's new character, but he's not here today, so if you need them, you guys can use them.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's some boar spears in the party sheet, and you can drag those over to your inventory.
I definitely want one of these potions, but I don't know who's going to be in the thick of it more than any of us. Like,
Yeah,
we're
so-
all fucking range people.
I mean, yeah, not wrong. But like he said, it's just a boar. And it's not like you guys can't do melee, like, you guys are competent at melee. There's no one bad at it.
I have no melee weapons.
That's why there was a boar spear provided.
Oh, is that a martial? Simple martial weapon?
God, I didn't even check. I think it's simple.
It's a simple two-handed melee.
Oh, so I can use it.
Yeah, I think it would be dumb if he was like, here's these weapons, only some of you can use it.
This is exotic. Martial weapon. Enjoy.
These are only crafted in Magnamar by my family.
I'm probably gonna be way ballsy, so I'm gonna take this spear moderate, just so everyone knows. I'll be the ballsy asshole.
So if you read the Boar Spear, it says if you ready a Boar Spear against a charge and you attack
Yeah.
hits, you get a +2 to your AC against the creature on your next turn.
That's cool.
And in case there's any other worries, I would like to quash those. I don't know if any of you have them, but it's not that this is trivial. It's just that it's definitely a fight you guys can handle.
I think we'll take it.
I'm gonna grab the Cure Moderate Wounds. Just grabbing it.
Okay.
If no one argues.
No arguments for me.
So I would actually like ride checks from everyone. And these are high quality saddles, so you can give yourself +2s to the ride checks. That'd be in the modifier in the bottom left. And this is just generally to see how you do riding on your way to the Devil's, what was it, the Devil's Platter?
Yeah.
So I guess it just looks to me like Anamara is having a rough time with her horse. I don't know. Do you do much riding where you're from?
No.
No.
We have a donkey.
Yeah. You're just walking around with your donkey. Okay, that's fair. So maybe that's what it is. It's a well-trained horse. Unfortunately, you're just not used to riding one.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay. Then, I think what would happen is Foxglove and the rest of you being guided by one of the servants. He says, are any of you trackers? If not, we can have Gerald look for the beast.
I can try looking for it.
Oh, this will be so exciting. I'd love to see you in action.
So Emma will get off her horse and kind of look around. Kind of adjust her glasses because she can't see super well sometimes. So yeah, she'll take a look wherever she is.
Okay. I think when you're getting to the Devil's Platter with your knowledge, I'll have you roll another knowledge geography. And this is more you like deciding which landmarks would be best suited. And then after that, we'll have you do a survival check once you get there.
Mid-level for the knowledge geography.
Okay. You find like a very lazy hill in the Tickwood Forest that has that soft ground I told you about earlier. And you figured that somewhere in this range of this hill, this is the appropriate place to find some boar. And you can give me a survival check once you get there. It's probably like less than 15 minutes to find this location once you're in the Devil's Platter.
Let's see how this goes.
Okay, and yeah, you managed to pick up on a trail. It looks like a fairly recently started trail. Looks like a handful of boar have gone along it. That leads to a small clearing where you see a bunch of ruts dug into the ground. It looks like there have been multiple boar here. That have been, feasting as they would. And there are multiple trails that lead away from here. and you find one that looks like only 1 or 2 boar have gone on it. This looks like the safest batch to go after, since you are only looking for a boar.
Okay.
You follow this path now on horseback, all of you. About another 10 minutes of just like a very, calm walk. And it leads up the hill and then down the other side of it. And it comes across like a small stream. And the forest begins to clear quite a bit. And you see like a small congregation of water. I don't want to call it like a lake. It's more of like a large pool with some trees surrounding it. And down there, you guys can see the boar. Get the map with you guys.
Look at the map.
Boys, we still have a potion to cure light wounds. Which one are you going to take it?
I'll hold on to it.
Can you bring potions on a boar hunt?
I just want to make sure they got it. I'm not going to let this stuff sit away. You never know, they could get skewered.
If you guys don't end up needing them by the end of the session, though, I think it'd be a good idea to throw them back.
Yeah.
Okay, if you guys want to all roll initiative, that would be cool. You guys are all synced up.
Not me.
Okay, well, if you don't delay your action, I understand. Okay, you can all give me, like, stealth checks. I assume you've dismounted and left your horses farther back.
Can I put some? Can I put like my heavy things on the horse so I don't have to carry it around?
Yeah, of course.
With this boar spear, I'm out encumbered.
Yeah, anything you need to keep on it.
Oh, no.
Anything you think would
I'm
help.
still not encumbered. It's all good.
You're strong, boy.
I'm strong. But I'm not sneaky. I am going to set everything off, so I'm going to let everyone move first.
You're still gonna do stealth rolls. Like, this is as you guys approach.
I'm letting them go first.
Okay, you can lower your initiative if you want to.
Shit, I'm first. God damn it. Okay, here we go. I forgot that. Oh god, the boar heard me. Sorry, guys.
Oh yeah, I think we talked about this last week, but rolling stealth checks in the dice tower.
Ah, so we don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how to use the dice tower.
you just drag your dice down there. So I would ask that that everyone re-rolls.
Okay.
Like that?
Yes, exactly like that. And that. And that. There we go. I'm laughing at your rolls, and I will tell you why later. And I'm gonna have Aldern with you, because he's technically supposed to be part of this hunt, but they don't actually have anything set up for him, so if it looks weird when I'm attacking the boar, that's why. Okay.
So I'm. Wait, is it whose turn is it? It's mine, right?
Yeah.
And what direction do we find the boar?
The boar's down by the pool. You guys have kind of been approaching it from the west.
I will take my Move action. And I have my board sphere equipped to be cool.
Oh, I will unlock that. There you go.
That was cool though. It was telling me how much speed that was doing.
Yeah, I wish you could just do that part, but unfortunately it's either locked and I have to confirm every movement,
Right.
or
That's
unlocked.
cool though.
Yeah.
But that was my 30-foot move. Is this all difficult terrain, these trees right here?
No, the canopy's not low enough for it to affect you.
That is where I shall stop. Sneaking, so sneaky.
Okay. I just kind of do a sneak hustle through all the bushes or the grass, and there I am. It's a double move.
Five, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And Animar's gonna get there.
I love that I can't see you guys. It's so cool. Alright. I can't see you either.
I mean, you guys can't see each other, but like you all moved at the same time, right? So you basically all just like filled in gaps around the trees and kind of just spread out around the lake.
Is that a sign? It's the 4.
No, that's just a couple pieces of wood.
Oh, okay.
And you see Aldern, he's going around the canopy as well, like down by Lothar, the one he's, taken by the most.
Ooh. Tee.
I mean, he is the hero of Sandpoint.
That is damn true.
I think this is the point where you see the boar look up, and it looks over at Lothar, and then it sees Melamber as well. And it starts running off to the side. And as it's coming around the corner, it doesn't even pay attention to who it's running by.
We're gonna lose him.
Yeah, so you saw it run north of the little pool you're in front of.
Alright, so drop the spear quick. Yeah, I'm already bored of this. I'm gonna drop the spear. I'm just like, nope, not letting this escape. Cause I can't see anything besides the tree. I just see it's booking it. So I drop my spear, and I equip my gun as I move. 5, 10, 15, 20, and that'd be 30 feet right here. Holy shit, it's gone. What the heck? I can't even see it. I'll do a
Double move.
35, 40.
I
I was gonna say, I'm kind of pointing in the direction I thought saw go as I'm holding the spear.
Like,
Yeah.
go out that way.
Yeah, I mean, I told him where it went.
Yeah. I'm realizing that doesn't matter. Like, see, I started here, right? So.
There isn't a version of this where you get an attack off if that's what you're looking for.
Oh, there is right here. But it's gonna have a lot of so much. It's gonna give it a what? Is that a +8?
Well, it's getting soft cover, so there's +4 from that, and then if any of this other stuff gives it cover, the trees are.
No, like I would say the bushes do, but the trees aren't low enough to make it total cover.
Okay, so just a +4 or -4 when I roll.
Yes.
Okay, damn, let's try it.
I mean, there's stuff you can do with grit if you wanna, like, cause what's the distance here? Well, you should probably target it. That's a good first step. Yeah, so he's out of your first range increment, isn't he? Or is a musket 50? I think it's 40, but I'm not
I
sure.
think it's 42.
As long as I have grit, I could use steady aim. Oh shit, I can't. So I'm gonna have to use. Fuck, I don't even think I have anything for this.
But you don't even have the information for steady aim on there.
Yeah, you definitely are gonna have to use the thing if you want it to be touch AC.
I know I meant to fucking do stuff for steady aim, and that was during the fucking thing. Steady aim's the whole thing where I take a
Move
you
action.
use a move action, and I can do something.
Yeah.
Ah, I'm just gonna have to go for its AC, boys.
Is the touch property, do you have your setup for both?
Yes. I think I would assume this one does not have touch. Yeah. Yeah, I got a regular bullets one that should do it right here.
Yeah, it doesn't have touch on there.
I missed.
It's all loud and smoky now.
Goes right into the tree.
Shit, I missed. Get it.
Hold on. It
redoes my map every time.
I guess it's my turn for some reason.
Does it?
Yeah, every time it hits my turn, it zooms me all the way back out. It's not a really big deal, but
It was doing that last time. That's weird.
Yeah, I have auto center map off, so I don't know why it's doing that. It's not doing it to me. You might just finish your turn and then try rejoining, see if that helps.
Alright.
as he goes up there, he takes his left hand, like he's just holding his spear in his right hand, and he's trying to do it to where no one can see that he's still trying to be kind of a cheat, even though Lothar just shot his gun. But he starts saying some words and is spinning his hand around, making a little blue symbol, and he's like, he pulls out a pinch of sheep's wool, and it like burns up, and he's like, back parts of his chest. And he's trying to kind of put his body in between Animar and his left hand, so Animar can't see it, but
And
then he does this. Did I do that right? You just fucking dazed it? Yeah. Yeah, so it's like running full tilt, the gun bullet goes off and scares it even more, I'm sure. And I just kind of run up and it probably just like kind of stops in its tracks and just like staring ahead all stupidly. Because the clouds of mine. Oh.
well,
You wouldn't say that a boar is a humanoid creature, would you?
Definitely wouldn't.
Does days only work on a humanoid?
Yeah.
I just heard that. I didn't know that.
Oh, I did not either.
Whoopsie. Well, in that case, what was I? So, what I actually did
You could charge them.
was, yeah, well, he's already shooting that, so, my armor drops his staff, and, he uses a move action to pull out his, he got some big ass bonus back, and now you guys are getting a look at it. Looks like it's made from like 2 mammoth tusks put together and somehow tied together in the middle with some kind of indentation for the hand. But once it pulls out, you see it's made from 2 giant bones or teeth or something. It's like a recurve bow. And he knocks an arrow to that, and pulls it back, and it's probably the biggest bow any of you guys have ever seen. And he just immediately puts an arrow in there and lets it fly at the boar as the boar is in full tilt.
God damn shit.
He says that too. He's like, fuck shit, I missed it. And an arrow goes flying off from this big ass bow and misses the boar too.
Alright, Animara's gonna come 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Actually, no, she'll just come up to here. Here, and she's gonna try and stab the boar with the boar spear. Trying to get around so that you guys can have better shots, but yeah. Oh. Hold on. Target 4. And attack plus 0.
Oh, that was on that 17.
Yeah, it's close.
Hey, you still rolled still rolled higher than Milam.
True.
Yeah. And she's just gonna. That's it. She tried, and she's just gonna hope this thing doesn't fail on her.
Man, this thing's a wily little boar.
And you see Aldern just running up, holding his boar spear, and jogging very quickly.
There you are, Jenkins.
And the boar's been run down, so it's gonna turn around after you try slashing at it. Not slashing, piercing it. I think I'd try and gore you.
Boy.
Oh no.
He's got those.
Oh shit! Those GM aim hacks on.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh,
You see it like create a like large open wound on Animara's calf with a bunch of blood seeping out of this hole that almost goes all the way through it.
Animara, no! Ow! Save us, Foxler! I was gonna say, I can't do anything. I can't because I took the move action for me to reload. This sucks. Wait, so I went diagonals 5,
10, 15,
20, 25, 30. And then I reload. I'm so sorry, I can't do anything else.
That is a lie. You go punch it.
Shit, my bad. I see what. No, you're good. I can. No, I fucking thought about it. Though. Yeah, but you can move and reload and fucking action. Yeah, I got a bow. Yeah.
Alright, how come you didn't just reload and shoot it? Travis?
I didn't see it.
Like,
From where you
it
were?
wasn't there. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, no way.
You have line of sight. It's in the same spot. Yeah. It just turned around.
My screen went down and I couldn't see it.
Okay.
So stupid.
Yeah, so if you want to shoot at him, you can.
Thank you. Alright, move action, and then I shall shoot. And I have to use my alcohol cartridge, but I cannot use the regular. Yes, boom. Oh god, I missed, boys. I'm sorry.
And you see Lambert throw up a hand to one of his ears so that he can just cover from all the noise that you think's blasting right in his ear balls.
I missed. Sorry.
Lambert makes that shot, and then he moves forward probably about like 20 feet, and then already got an arrow back in it, fires again.
Yeah, baby. Two D six. What the hell?
Alright, so then you see a big ass fucking shaft slam into the side of his boar right after it gets done tearing up Animar's leg, and then just flunk, goes like halfway in.
Very,
Makes the board teeter a little bit.
it's a very thick, long arrow.
Yep. Oh, sorry.
Wow, dude.
That's I've never seen the orc hornbow. That's how you hit a boar with Lothar.
Calvin, are you familiar with the disengage action?
Well, I'm trying to figure out if I drink the potion or if I just drink the extracts first. Because it's a standard action for cure wounds. But yeah, I was gonna disengage if I with was it full withdrawal?
No, it's actually called it's straight up called disengage. No, I think you're right. I think it is called withdraw.
Yeah.
Well, we're thinking of the same thing.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how far can I move. There's no penalty for movement for withdrawing, right?
No, you get to move double your speed. It's a full round action where you don't provoke your first square, and you get to move double your speed.
All right, yeah. I'm just gonna do that. So that's the one out of what I think it is, and then so that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45. She's just gonna go there actually, and that'll be her because I can't drink a potion right now. So yeah.
Alden, save the day!
You see Aldern run up. He doesn't have a boar spear because it's a pain in the ass to code. I didn't do it in advance. But I'm still rolling for him. Yeah, he takes his boar spear and like tries to shove it right at the boar's like the side of its face, and it just like moves its head so that like one of its tusks deflects the spear.
Nice.
And the boar is going to try and gore Aldern now.
Oh shit.
Oh, that was on Animara. What the heck?
I was like, oh my god, Amar's dead! I knew he was bad. Oh man, that was scary. I thought you said Foxglove was attacking Animara.
Never mind.
Yes. Okay, and another deep wound. This one even more so than the last. You see, Foxglove drops his boar spear and starts holding on So, like the bottom left of his gut, just above his just below his rib cage.
Alright, I fixed my wounds, so I'm not dying anymore.
Yeah, that's probably for the
I
best.
was sitting there and I was like, dude, this is bad. I was
Scared that was gonna happen. Glad Alden was here. But now,
Do
I think just a minus.
Fucking 4.
I'm doing it. I have to do something. So I'm gonna take a -4. Put the butt of my gun to my shoulder.
Get down, November! Ah!
This guy. That intensity right there. That's why Aldern likes Lothar so much.
I
Look
fucking
at just scream in joy.
So now it's
Not a confirmed crit, so just roll my damage.
Nice.
And the boar goes down. Recently,
Oh, wait, that shot was in the throat,
Just
so everyone knows. Shot it right in the throat.
yeah, you just see a hole go through it, goes clean through, out the back. Probably, I would assume because of like the height of the boar, it actually ends up like going like fairly straight down towards the rib cage. You're probably gonna have to pull that out.
Hopefully it didn't fracture.
Yeah, hopefully. Let's see how much of the meat is still good.
So we're out of the initiative then, right? Or no?
Yeah, the boar's, unless you guys are doing something weird with it, it's gonna bleed out. Like, I assume, like, Aldern, as soon as this happens, unless you try and stop him, he's gonna go and, like, slit the boar's throat so it bleeds out immediately.
I go grab my arrow that missed and hit the dirt. Is it still intact enough to count?
So, it's 50-50 unless you have the fucking special arrows, which I don't recall if you do or not.
I was just, yeah, I knew it was 50-50. So you want me to just roll
Just roll a d4. If it's high, you get it back. There you go.
Sweet.
Got
And
your-
I also go over and put my foot on the rib cage of the boar and pull out that arrow. Boom! Got him both back. Wow.
Nice. I'm walking over and I walk up to Anamara.
Anamara. I
Reach in, grab my potion of moderate, and tell you to drink that. Oh, thank you.
How do
I do that?
You don't, and to be fair, you probably shouldn't, because Anamara has Cure Light Wounds as a prepared spell.
Yeah,
I was
about to cure myself. I was about to.
When the hell
Are you here?
She knocks it out of your hand and it spills everywhere.
Aw,
it's
gone forever.
Alright.
Well, thank you, but I've already got something right here, so I'm gonna take this for right now.
I didn't realize you could help yourself.
What's your Cure Light Wounds extract look like?
So she just pulled out a bottle, probably 4 inches long, and it's just kind of cloudy and red. And she's kind of pops the cork off it, throws it back, and heals himself up with it. So
This motherfucker has a minor health potion.
Yeah.
I love it. I've never seen someone go that route, surprisingly.
That's a lot of health.
That's that wasn't the right one. You don't need to hit that. You just need to hit the heal.
yeah, I did that earlier and it didn't work.
Nice. Damn!
Oh. As you're pulling the bag, I just kind of have the close in my hand. I'm just like,
Okay.
well, I think I want that. you should hold on to that just in case. So
I will.
Make sure you check mark the cure light wounds.
Yep, I just did.
Okay, cool. Aldern's over there with Melamber, and he's like, that was an excellent hunt, ladies and gentlemen. I say we have the boys load the boar up and we take it back to the Rusty Dragon and have a nice big feast.
Sounds good.
Good. I hope you're not too angry that me and those are pulled out our tools of the trade.
It'd be very hard to get me angry at the heroes of Sandpoint. I will say it was very unsportsmanlike, but
Just kidding.
I'd say it's very unsportsmanlike and probably make it sound a little better when people bring it up. But I think at the end, we had the same outcome, right? That's all that matters.
Right? I like clapped him on the shoulder and I was like, you're the one that went toe to toe with it. Good job, Foxglove.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I'm really impressed by what
you just did.
I couldn't have done it without your help.
I really don't know how to use this.
By the way, I walk back and pick it up.
And go back.
Yeah, I go get it too.
And you see, like, you hear, I'm not going to do it because, one, I can't, and you would hate it if I actually did. You hear Aldern Foxglove, he, like, whistles, and you see two of the manservants come over, the two that don't have all of your horses, and they begin loading up the boar onto one of the horses.
Do we see any other boars or anything nearby? And servants. I say to the one closest to me.
We'll deal with Animara's thing real quick. If you give me another survival check, if you want to go like check out down by the area it was hanging out in, we can do that.
Melamber calls out to one of the manservants real quick.
Yeah, you'll have time to do that. It's going to take a second for Animara to do her thing, but I will let you know that you don't find any other tracks, like any other boars. Seems like this one just came down to get some water. So it does seem like, multiple boars visit this regularly. There aren't any fresh tracks, besides the one, that you slayed.
Yeah.
Maybe, I'd say, the freshest besides that is, a day old.
Yeah.
Okay, one of the servants that is, helping put the boar up, drops it and turns it around immediately, leaving all the weight on the other servant. He's like, yes, sir. How can I help you?
The moment he looks over at me, I toss the boar spear at him, sideways so that he could catch it. So
Yeah, and he fumbles with it a little bit, but he catches it.
All right,
perfect. I was trying to drop the boar spear back into the party sheet, and it's glitched out on me, and it's just constantly holding it.
Well, if you guys don't want the boar spears,
I'm keeping mine.
yeah, Aldern gave them to you, so you can just delete it if you don't want it.
Don't do that.
Give
Give it to me.
And I'll sell it.
Well, I threw it at the mansion, so that's where I went with it. Alright, I like that.
It's gone.
No, you can go take it back from them if
you want.
I
walk up.
I'll take that.
And the manservant looks over at Foxglove and he's like, no, of course, it was theirs. He gives it to you real quick.
And I put
put
it
it
across.
across. Now I have two boar spears sticking out of my back.
And they're big. They're not big spears. They're actually pretty short. But like I said, they have a nice, nasty couple little spokes that stick out the side.
Yeah, they should have spokes going out the side because that's supposed to stop the boar from being able to run straight through the spear into you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I think I remember this now. Yeah.
No, you're right. That's what it's for. It also means when you pull it out, there's a nice big wound. So if it's not dead, it'll bleed out way faster. But normally, if you were doing a traditional boar hunt, it would be multiple of you on foot, like you just did, but you would all be lunging your spears in. Normally, just you would carry multiple spears and spear them just once and let them hang there, basically.
Okay.
But that's just that's the fancier version of what you guys are doing. There's a couple different ways of doing it. Obviously, like most traditional is what you guys are doing. This is the the noble way of doing it.
Lothar, do you want mine too?
You
Don't want yours? Are you serious? It's really heavy. You good? Yeah.
I'll take it.
I'll drop it in the party for you.
Okay.
At this point, I'm officially encumbered, I believe.
Well, you might want to change that.
Only it's a light. It's just a light encumbrance. Not too bad.
Oh, well, you're not really encumbered yet.
Take the medium.
Well, I'm just now finally
feeling the effects.
There you go.
Alright, Foxglove, do we hunt more boar, or is this enough?
We only need one. I don't think we have any goblins back in town we need to feed.
Oh.
You get a few like awkward chuckles from the manservants.
Yeah, like, that's not really funny, but okay.
It was in poor taste. I'm sorry.
I don't know if it's just me, but at least Jacob got way quieter.
Just throwing it out there.
I shouldn't be. I mean, I can move my mic closer, but I haven't adjusted anything. I have gotten quieter?
No, I hit the volume control on accident.
Okay. Well, I did move my mic, so if I need to readjust it, just let me know. I think Aldern will very quickly pick up the like awkwardness and be like, "Well, it was in poor taste. I'm sorry. I know it's a little too fresh. I just..." And he's like, "No, just everyone get on their horses. Just get going. I apologize."
Alright.
I jump up on my horse with the practice ease of someone who's done it before.
Many times.
I get on my horse with something decent. Have a +3. And I'm hard caused.
I don't think you guys need to worry about getting on your horse. It might be weird if you guys aren't used to it, but
Yeah. She's a little awkward getting onto the horse. It's a lot bigger than anything she's dealt with before. So.
that's fair. Yeah, and you guys have a nice, lazy... It's a little bit lazier of a journey than before. Like, you spent about an hour getting here and, like, following tracks and making it to this place, and I'd say that, like, it takes about, even though you're not doing all that tracking, now that you have the boar weighing you down and, everyone's a little bit more tired, that takes about another hour to get back. I don't think anyone here's in a rush, are they?
No. I think I'm just going to already left to head back to town or back to their house. So
Oh, okay.
not really doing anything.
It's good to know. It sounded sinister. It wasn't supposed to sound sinister. I think maybe just like some sense motive checks from everyone as you're talking with Aldern Foxglove on the way back would be good.
Oh my god.
Wow.
He's the best guy ever.
Yeah, no, he just keeps fangirling about you, and like any piece of information about you guys that you can give him, he wants. Like, wants to know your hometown, who your friends were growing up, if you have any family members, kind of hobbies you had. If you're more of a beach guy or more of a desert guy. The weird specific questions. But yeah, you guys make it back to the Rusty Dragon, and when you get in there, Foxglove immediately goes up to the bar, gets Amico, and says, "We have a fine boar that my manservants will be bringing in for a moment. I'd love it to be cooked up and shared with everyone." And then he turns around, he's like, "As long as that's okay with you," as he like looks at the party.
Yeah,
Of course.
I can't get old for it. That's all.
The gracious heroes of Sandpoint would like to bring this boar to all of you, he says very loudly. And you hear a bunch of people cheering in the Rusty Dragon. And the boar gets brought in, and we see like a Monster Hunter style montage of Amico carving and cooking the boar. I do like me my montages.
Same here.
So she got more that one drop meat. That's what I'm gonna be asking for.
Yeah, that's like one of their iconic pieces at the Rusty Dragon. That's why it was handed out yesterday. It's the same with that like spiced salmon meal you had yesterday.
Alright. Well,
So-
I'm gonna hold off on the salmon, but. And I'm asking
Asking Kaijitsu, I'm like,
how
how
long
long
do
do
you think
each
each
other's
other's
boars
boars
stand
stand
last?
And she like smiles at you and she's like, the proper term would be lady.
My lady. And he does like a little 45-degree bow.
Well, if I'm gonna do it properly, it's gonna take at least a few hours.
Oh, perfect. I got some things I'm gonna check up on and some winter drop meat to drink. There's a little wink at her.
And she winks back. Of course. Give me... And she, like, kind of starts... She's saying all this as she's, like, carving into the boar in the back. She's like, give me about 2 hours. I can guarantee it'll be done by then. At least the first part. We're going to get the legs on there. If you want to wait for the main piece, I'd say about 3.5 hours.
Alright. Gives me a good amount of time to get a nice good buzz for it.
There's meat if you want it.
That is, he
Just
just
said
said
that I'm on the way, boys. And he's like, I'm gonna see if they sent out my letter yet, and I'll be back.
Oh, okay. Have fun.
And he's got a big cup of meat as he's walking out.
Okay.
He's just gonna do that, come right back. We don't really gotta do anything with that if you don't want to.
So you're going to go to the Carpenters Guild and talk to the dwarf there you talked to the previous day?
Yeah, just to ask him, like, have you sent the letter out? Yeah, not just curious, not trying to harass.
Yeah. On your way there, actually, one of the locals comes up to a younger girl. Her name's Shaylis Vender. She's the daughter of the owner of the Sandpoint General Store. She comes up to you. She's a very attractive young woman. You might know her older sister. If you want to give me some knowledge local, I can give you some information about her and her family.
did. I don't have it with this guy.
Or with the new iteration of Malamber.
Okay. She comes up to you, like I said.
Hot though?
Yeah, she's a very, very attractive younger lady.
Okay. What
Like, see if you're walking, he's like, what can I do for you, lass?
She's a little bashful, but she comes up to you and she says, my father's been too distracted lately with the whole goblin situation going on. but our store, it's having a bit of a pest problem. And, well, it'd be really awesome if you could help me with it. I'm not strong as someone like you.
Oh, just stop yourself there. Leave me to it. I'll help you out right now. I was just on a small errand, but I'm here to help.
She gives.
Call us the heroes of Sandpoint.
I've heard all about it, and I thank you so much. I don't know what we would have done without you. Gives you a cute little smile.
Me neither.
She chuckles at that. I don't think it's anything too crazy. Only a handful of rats, though I swear one of them was the size of a goblin, and she softly chuckles. And she, like, brings you to the general store. Like she said, where her where her family's business is.
Alright.
Which is down by the wharf, actually. You can see it next to the academy.
Is it on the map?
Yeah.
Sandpoint?
It's directly west of the Rusty Dragon.
Let me pull that up again real quick.
I don't have that map.
How do you spell that? You gotta go to images. I replaced that map with the combat map. So. The best way is to go to your sidebar and make sure you have the images tab always on the right.
I'd recommend with stuff we're going back to regularly to put it on a hotbar.
Did you say you can put it in the hotbar?
Yeah, you can put anything in the hotbar. You can drag it. Yeah, I have Sandpoint and like all the images of people that I've shared with you. I have all those on a hotbar on my control.
Look at that.
Yeah, so then when we're switching between maps, it's just a click away to get the Sandpoint back up.
Okay, so where
Is this at?
Just
is this
west.
the one that says general store?
Yeah.
Like the Turan Dorak Academy?
Yeah. And she brings you into the store and she's like, if you haven't been here, there's anything you can think of, we'd have it here. The rats, though, they're down in the basement. I know it's not very bright down there, but if we need it, I can get a light.
Yeah, I didn't prepare light today, Max. So I need a torch or something. If it's dark.
Have you, like, mixed with the locals? Like, did you do any of that yesterday?
Not too much, just what everybody else was doing when we were all together walking around town.
Okay.
So, and I used to have knowledge local before I changed my guy up a little bit.
So that's kind of throwing me right now.
But anyways.
Yeah, she gets, like, a little candle on, like, a platter, and she brings it down with her, obviously with you in front of her.
Right.
And I try to be in front of her, but she was going to walk in front of me.
No. Yeah, she lets you be a gentleman.
And I make a big show of pulling out my big ass bow and like putting an arrow on it, and giving it a couple test pullbacks to flex my muscles.
Before I
Go
go
down,
down.
arrow knot.
Spotted.
Okay. And yeah, you go down there. If you want to like look around for rats, if you want to give me like a perception check. Yeah, once you get down there with her and you spend a few moments like with your bone drawn, your bone bow, I guess, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
looking around. You're actually kind of surprised by how clean it is down here, and you don't see any rats. And when you turn around and look into her direction, she's taken her boda off, like she's undressing down here with you.
Oh.
And she like slides over towards you and tries to embrace you.
Don't do it. Try not doing it. I allow it. shit, how old are you, lass? And I'm holding her, looking down right at her and everything too.
Old enough.
Holding it.
Old
Enough.
Oh.
Where's the rats? There aren't any down here, are there?
Maybe over by that cot. And she kind of like tries to bring you over in that direction.
Melamber goes willingly. It's been a long time since he's seen his wife, and he's been with his wife for a long time.
Okay. Yeah, and as you guys, start doing what you're doing, you want to give me...
We gotta do this very detailed.
No. You want to give me, like, a perception check?
How about a performance check?
No, perception.
God damn, that's like a
Okay.
Do I notice like a freckle in the weird spot?
No, I think after like a couple minutes of like foreplay, as she like begins to undress you, you hear an older man yell out, "Shamus, what is this? What are you doing down here?"
Oh my god! Oh fuck, bro.
"Who on God's green earth are you?" And you see this man with large meaty fist coming over towards you.
Miranda's son. He kind of like pushes her away. I don't know what state of dress he's in, but like pushes her away and throws her clothes at her. And it's just like, it's not what it looks like.
You want to give me like a bluff or diplomacy check to see how this conversation goes?
Oh hell yes.
Two of my.
You know what? This might be a good place to put it in the tower.
There you go, buddy.
Okay. He's like,
Right.
well then you.
I was just coming down here to look for rats, and she thought one was trailing around in her clothes, so I tried to get the rat from out of her clothes.
Get your vile hands out of my goddamn store! I don't want to see you around here ever again!
I'm sorry, and I'm trying to get around him. I'm not trying to be violent or anything.
Yeah. He, like, as you go up the stairs, he comes up behind you, but as soon as you leave the store, he just slams the door.
Right when I was getting to the stairs, I'm still backing up and saying all this to her, but I look over at Shamus and I wink at her. I'm like, later, guys. And I wink and then I run up the stairs real fast.
She's, like, looking down embarrassed at the cot that she's, like, laying on right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Your dad just kind of ruined everything.
Walked on her, getting physically intimate with you.
I was looking for a rat, man. I'll take that story to the town hall. I'm not going to the town hall.
So under Story Award, it says, if the PCs manage to navigate this delicate encounter without hurting anyone and without disrupting the Binder family, award the party 800 experience.
What? Whoa!
Oh, did I disrupt, or is that undisrupted?
No.
I think we just got that.
No,
I don't know.
that was not delicate or undisrupted.
I think I lost this 800 XP.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Well, I like run down the street. Actually, I'm not even going to the Carpenter's Guild now. I just kind of haul ass back to the Rusty Dragon.
Okay.
Go to bed. You fucked up.
You guys don't know that, but you see me like cursing the Rusty Dragon. I'm like looking left and right, and I like settle myself and brush the dust off me, and like just look at my clothes, make sure they're all right, and walk up and try to get some more meat.
Yeah, they're...
How was the Carpenter's Guild? Oh, fine. He said they're still working on it. And he's kind of like averting his eyes.
And everything.
And he's like, if you were looking close, you'd be like, something's bothering him because he takes a cup of winter drop mead and downs it all in like one gulp. Brings a little flush to his cheeks.
If you guys are cool with it, I'd like to give you like a teeny bit of information about like stuff that could have happened with that, and then call a 10-minute break after that.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
Okay. So those checks you made that you failed at horribly. The first check I offered up, like if you had knowledge local or if you chatted with some of the locals, I would have let you do diplomacy, was to like kind of get an eye into the younger siblings of the Vinder family. Her older sister kind of has this situation that is known throughout town with a not so great lover of hers that her father definitely doesn't want her to have, and which kind of is like a cover for Shay. Like with the amount of people that pay attention to that, no one really notices the fact that this budding young woman has I don't know how to call it without sounding like a pervert, but she's looking around is probably the best way to put it. And then the second check was to notice her father. I feel like that one was pretty obvious.
Okay.
And then the last one, if you'd have given me a high enough bluff or diplomacy, you could have like got yourself out of the situation without angering her father, and if you would have rolled high enough, you could have made it so there was like no ill will, period.
Damn it.
Yeah. And the big thing is if you would have like started some kind of confrontation with them, he would have gotten to like a fist fight with you. But if you'd have used any kind of lethal force, you would have ended up, facing murder charges, end up in the jail for a few days, and then sent to Magnamar for a trial. So, like, you totally, depending on the player, yeah, someone could have just, like, lost a character there.
Wow, that is freaking cool.
Yeah. I didn't think it was going to happen, but I was definitely prepared for it.
I'm
glad I wasn't in that
situation.
I would have loved everything. I would have went to trial. Get some good roleplay though. Trial and everything.
I don't think I would side rail the whole campaign for one character's trial. I think it would have been more of a.
Be my lawyer. Gonna get on here.
We could have our first filler episode, the Sandpoint murder trial. Okay, I think we'll call our 10-minute break here and meet back at 14 after.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
I don't drink too much, but I smoke a little weed. It's on your name on the dotted line, and your songs will all get paid. Flags flying above my land. One's got three colors. The one that flies high and brown. The red, the white, the blue. And the second flag has a rattlesnake with a simple statement made. Don't tread on me, that's what it says. I'm back if there's any comments, questions, or concerns. Just drinking some water. I feel like the title for the encounter you just had is like the name of an old like folk song. It's called "The Shopkeep's Daughter."
That makes sense.
Well, I made love to the shopkeep's daughter. She was a fine young lass. I'm not sure, like, there's a chance you guys level up at the end of the session today.
Oh, wow.
And if you don't, then it'll be partway through next session. It kind of just depends on what you guys do.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like, I was positive it was going to happen by the end of this session, but then you guys spent like 2 hours going around town last week. Which I'm happy with. You guys were enjoying. I was enjoying it too. So I'm not quite sure on the timing now, especially with like us having a weird number of people.
Look at that guy.
Yeah, that's the guy that just kicked one of you out of his house.
Right? He kind of looks like he has more strength score than me.
It's definitely a possibility.
Both, are you back?
Huge piss. I heard huge piss.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I had to take a huge piss, sorry. Well, I imagine that Melambar is sat in the table. If the Animars, or did Animar take off to see a family or something? No, they left that morning.
What I was thinking was before we left for the port hunt, that her family left. So
Okay.
Didn't even say goodbye. Hi. I mean, I assume they said goodbye to you. I just meant to your associates.
Oh, they never. We offered them that one meal, remember? Come and eat with us.
yeah,
They didn't really.
sit with them.
They're kind of homebodies anyway, so.
They just didn't want to meet anyone. I think.
Damn introverts.
Was that Vin Vendor? I clicked the off the portrait, but I'm trying to just notice.
Yes.
Yes, Vin Vendor.
Sounds like a 90s action star. I'm Ben Vendor and I'm coming for you.
All of
You who try to be with Shay. I see my guy. I mean, Melamber sitting at the table. He's got a spell book out that he was looking at for a second. And then if Lothar's around, he kind of takes his great horn bow out off his backpack and lays it on the table. He's like, when it up close you get to see, it's definitely got to be like two of the woolly mammoth tusk, like the big elephants that are up north that hang out with all the Kelid tribesmen. Somehow put together and fused and like recurved at the end with a nice thick string on it. And you can also see, once you're up close, a bunch of runes etched into it, arcane runes.
And he slaps
That's it on the table and then looks at Lothar and he's like, "Want to size up?"
That's a fancy piece of machinery there.
It's
"So natural, buddy."
Yeah, this one is too. He pulls it off his back and slaps it down. And you see it's just got a long, solid wood barrel with a long piece of metal.
A wood barrel?
Not barrel. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Stop.
all right.
Jacob, whose would you say is longer?
What? Why are you asking me?
I don't know the exact dimensions of it, but it's huge. Like when it's strung, and if I was to put it next to me, it would be taller than me, in my imagination. Like if I put one end of the bow on the ground, the other end would go above my head by at least 6 inches or something. I don't know, maybe that's too big.
But, well, mine's only a little longer than ours.
Alright. So the man was like, okay. And then he just puts it away. And he gets out a little piece of paper. And he's got his ink and his quill pen. And he's like, and that first battle, how many goblins did you shoot in the throat, would you say?
I definitely shot 4 of them. I think I killed 3. Or no, I killed more than that. I don't know.
Well, let's just put it at 0.
Oh,
This is just for fun, Lothar. You and me, gun versus bow. What do you say? And he holds out his hand.
fine.
I like
A challenge. I want to start with 1. I took down the 4. Alright, fair enough. I helped, but fair enough. Hey, did you get your grip point back for that? I didn't spend it. Well, yeah, I just imagine that's what Milamar and Lothar are doing.
Talking
About the gun and the bow.
If anybody else was talking about something.
Well, I'm only going to ask because Anamara has been separate from the party a few times. Are you, like, hanging out with them while you're waiting for the food, or are you doing something else? You have a couple hours.
She'll just be with them. She's just gonna, when Malamber pulls out his, what's it called? His spell book, I guess, she'll look in it, just like kind of look over her shoulder and see if she recognizes any of the things. But, yeah.
So-
Yeah, I'm sure that you would see a lot of cantrips. Actually, I don't really know how this works, but
So you wouldn't actually recognize them because each person that each wizard has their, and this is the way it is with most casters, has their own cryptic language. So he'd have to like point things out to Anamara, and then there might be an overlap there. So like, for example, if he has a spell that you know, then as he explains it, you'd understand it's the same thing. But you couldn't read it by yourself without like a linguistics check or him explaining it to you.
Okay.
and I think read magic does it if you have that as well.
No, I don't have that. She's kind of just looking at it and like cruising because the alchemists can copy from a spellbook, but or from a wizard's spellbook, but the wizard can't copy from the alchemist. So
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah, and I'd see like Melamber looks at it and he's like,
oh man, I
just don't know how you guys do it. This is way more scientific or different than how I would see
magic.
Oh, I did forget one weird thing about Alchemist. You don't actually have to decipher them to copy them. So you could,
Oh,
yeah. So like an alchemist can technically read a wizard's book and copy the spells without deciphering, like basically Milamber's own arcane writings.
so she just copies it and kind of hopes that it's something. I guess.
I could show you the stuff later
if you
if you
want.
want.
Oh, that would be nice. We can try.
I would actually have to, because the biggest thing is we got to see what is on your list that you
is also on my list.
Yeah, probably not much.
But
I mean, you can actually find that out pretty easy, Milamber. If you look at your list, you can click on your spells and it'll tell you who it's available to at what levels.
You're right.
Hold on.
Well, besides all the cantrips, because I just shit on them, I'm just gonna look at my level 1s.
And
Do you know? Nope.
Large person.
And large, yeah, that's an alchemist.
That's
Do you have
it.
a large person?
That's literally it.
I do not.
Alright, well, you're starting to see a spell you understand. A large person, and you're starting to figure it out from my writing how you do that.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking of actually like doing any copying right now. I was just like, oh, she's just gonna like look at your spellbook to see how wizards or whatever it is, like how you guys were compared to alchemists and that stuff.
Alright.
Well, that's pretty much the only one. Like, when you get further in the book, there's some of the lesser cantrips and stuff that maybe you probably started to understand. But once you got, like, into the middle of the book, you started to see my more advanced spellcraft. And the only one you're starting to kind of get is the enlarged person one. And when you start to decipher it, you can realize that the wizard's just writing it. It's basically just a description. And it's a mix of draconic and the way he writes his formula and everything. It's a description of how to add more mass to a person and all this, and then certain words that are supposed to unlock the magic in the universe or the world that help unlock that in whatever being you're targeting.
Okay. It's all
Pretty fancy and cool.
Super fancy and cool.
He's also completely ignoring you because he's talking about the gun with Lothar.
What?
He's like,
Where did you find this, Lothar? How did you figure out how to do this? You got a hand thing.
Long time ago.
I don't really know what the person was called, but they welded it. They wielded it quite well. I didn't understand what it was until years later, to be honest. I didn't know what this thing did. But it's a killing machine. I don't have the stuff prepared right now, but is any of this magical? Does it radiate magic? Is it in any part of the arcane realm?
No. It's quite simple.
Really? All mechanical. All of it. That is interesting. To make that sound and that effect and cause that much damage, all on its own. He pulls out his
powder horn,
pours a little bit on the table. It's just in this powder.
That's all it is.
Lambert shoots a little glob of acid at it, like a tiny little pinprick, a teardrop of it, sees what happens.
I would assume acid doesn't do anything, but
just starts sizzling. And he's still got that book out, and he's like writing in it.
He's like, interesting.
Oh, by the way, if you ever figure out how to make your note stab thing pop up, I put a note called Gun vs. Foe in the public notes.
How is it
that it generates enough force to punch through armor like I've seen it do? Well, through goblin armor, and through throat. It's very explosive. Does your ammunition go straight through the throat, or does it stay lodged in there? It depends on where I shoot. Does range have any effect on it? Yes.
it's
Harder for me to hit from further away.
That makes sense. It's all propulsion, right?
Yes. Right? I bet you the alchemist would understand the gun way better than the mages would.
And Mara is kind of like, oh, well,
Yes.
kind of, it looks like a bomb thrower sort of thing, maybe, right? Horses.
Yes. You see the cannon, right? You know what a cannon is.
Yeah.
I've heard of them.
Yeah,
The ships sometimes. Same effects.
It's a lead ball and powder explosive.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
I'm gonna throw something out real quick. In the just default setting of Galorian, there are only 2 ships ever brought up in any of the APs that have cannons on them.
Oh.
Wow. And probably we don't know about that. Wow, okay. So that's why I like to call this a magical handmaker.
One of them's in Skull and Shackles, and the other one is also in Skull and Shackles, though it doesn't actually show up. One's a Chilaxian ship, and one's a pirate ship.
And you didn't figure this out on your own? There's a story here, isn't there, Lothar? Milambo's like looking at you with raised eyebrow.
I honestly don't know how
I came across it. Drunk? No. I got drunk with it. I tell you, I had this thing for 5 years before I understood how it worked. I saw what it did.
And, okay. And you have no idea how you got it at all.
No,
I found it after goblins took down a group of, I didn't know what they were, but they had these. The only one that survived was the one I'm holding. The rest was destroyed. Goblins didn't understand what they were.
That's good. I would like to see a bunch of goblins with these magical handbangers running around.
I
Would actually be very good.
Yeah, they can get kind of wild.
Can you do you have the knowledge of making these on your own then?
Yeah, I've actually figured it out. I haven't done it yet, but I have quite the idea. I've taken this one apart and rebuilt it several times. I'm pretty sure I could do it.
He looks over your gun. He's like, I could see that. Noting how it looks like shit, pretty much.
It is broken, technically.
It's a wonder it even works in your hands, but I've seen you use it.
It's not
Gonna work in yours.
You
Will understand how to use it.
Well, I would
Like to. I was thinking about taking a dip in the spell slinger class. To be honest.
Don't say that.
Huh.
Well, I'm gonna go get some more winter drop meat. Does anybody want some?
I'll take another.
I'm all set, thank you though.
Ah,
Good, temperance. That's good. I don't have any. And with that, he gets up, kind of maybe sways just a tiny bit, and then rights himself, and then walks off all grinning and happy. We get some more winter drop. And he left the spell book with you, and the bow sitting out on the table. Well, Lothar, at some point I might be able to help you out, but that's quite a few good signs that you have there. All practical knowledge.
Give me a second, I just had someone call me from work.
Malamber tries to get him 2 winter drop meats from that. What's that little chick? Or is she a halfling? Bethany or Bellany? Bethania? He's looking for her. You have to talk to her.
Yeah, Bethana.
Bethany.
Yeah.
Where you at, lass?
She's probably helping. I'd say she's helping Amiko prepare. I mean, it's a whole boar, right? There's only 2 people that work here, so she's probably helping with that.
Is she just preparing the boar like out in the common room, or is they back in the kitchen?
They're in the kitchen.
Ooh,
And I'm gonna walk in the kitchen. And I saunter on back there, and I'm like, can I just?
Okay, as you open the door, you see a meat cleaver fly by your head and like land like stuck in the wall next to you.
Oh wow. Well, I don't have a dagger, but I pick it up and bring it over to her.
Lothar comes out of the privy. He's back.
It's bad luck to step into a woman's kitchen uninvited.
I thought I had an open invitation to your kitchen, Miko.
You had an open invitation to board in my establishment. You don't have open invitation into my kitchen.
Oh, my bad. Well, you care if I grab some of that meat on the way back out of your kitchen? I would hate to intrude.
Pathana will bring some out to you shortly.
Thanks, lass and lady. And he goes out.
Remember, patience is a virtue.
I don't have them. Oh,
Yeah.
Shit. He pokes his head back in, but only just his head, like he doesn't feel like he's actually entering. Do any of you know Shay Vinder?
I don't think you actually get a response from Bethana, but Miko says, one of the younger kids around here. Is something wrong?
No, just how young would you say?
You get like a raised eyebrow. And she
I'm
says,
just asking for a friend. Is there any laws around Sandpoint about age and women and consent? Just curious. Lothar wants to know.
yeah. I think it turns from like a raised eyebrow to like a dumbfounded look on Amiko. And she's like, you better not be doing anything stupid with the Vendor family.
Oh, no. Nah, just forget I brought it up. And he takes off. If you guys are at the table, you see Amber rushing back over again, sits down all quick. The means will be out in a second.
What is your issue?
This is the second time I've seen you this flustered.
I'm not flustered. You're flustered.
Yeah, I don't buy.
So the gun's pretty cool.
Yeah,
He's like changing the subject.
it's me.
Well,
Where did you find this gun? Was it out in the hinterlands around here?
It was out by Magnamar.
Have you ever gone back to the scene of the crime?
No.
I'd be a thing to do one day.
You remember where you were?
Yeah, I do.
There's nothing to go back to. Or we can go see your parents.
No, that's not happening.
Taking
You got some bad relations with your family?
Pretty much. They could be dead for all I know. And I don't care.
You don't think they would like to know that their son became a Sandpoint hero?
They'd be too high on Flayleaf or too drunk in their cups to even notice. So it matters little.
Oh, let's see.
Well, then we can go on an intervention mission.
He grabs his cup and puts it to his face and he looks askance, squints his eyes and just says, enough with this. And steps up and goes to his room.
I think we had a source up there.
You shouldn't talk about that. Miranda looks at Animal and he's like, alright, don't talk about the parents. He writes it down in his notes.
Don't bring up druggie / alcoholic parents. Lothar.
Lothar, don't bring up drug addict parents.
Okay, and unless you guys have anything you want to do, then a couple hours later, the first part of the boar is finished. All the legs are brought out, one over to your table, and then the rest are handed out to patrons throughout the bar. Yours is obviously free. And by free, I mean Foxglove paid for all of it.
I run
Upstairs to go get Lothar and tell him that the bowl is ready.
He's sobbing fervently. I'm just kidding. He goes down.
Oh, ready? I'm gonna do a perception check to see if there's a slight dry tear on his cheek.
Alright, go for it. I'll allow it. He's just pissed.
Oh, and like, unless you guys say otherwise, like, Foxglove has been there the whole time, just absorbing any kind of information he can from you.
Whoa!
Whoa! I look over and he's sitting in the chair next to me, like, oh shit,
I didn't
let's
see
see
that.
there.
I mean, I never said he left. He's just quiet because he wants to know everything he can about you guys.
I
I think Anamara will just kind of
just keep talking. Like she
She doesn't talk a lot,
but she'll
just
just entertain him, I guess.
Foxglove's actually a very easy man to talk to. I don't know if that matters for Anamara, but he's very charming, and he has a way of goading people into pulling stories out of them that they wouldn't usually tell.
Yeah, I don't think she would tell like too much. I think she was just gonna actually just start talking about me and just be excited about that.
Yeah, and he's 100% engaged in it. Like, he clearly doesn't know pretty much anything about it, but he's eating it all up. And he'll start munching with you guys, when the food comes around. Once again, there's a bit of an uproar when it comes out, and everyone starts digging in. Is there anything else you guys want to do today?
I forget exactly what was for third. What he said? He said to come back in a couple days, right? Brother Clank.
Who was that? Sorry.
oh, brother, wink. Yeah, Sage.
Oh,
He
okay.
said to come back in a couple days, right?
Yeah. He said if you come back in a few days that he might have some more information for you.
Okay. So
It's only been 1 day, though.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
I'm gonna sell those
Or
two of them. I'm keeping one of them.
Okay. Just throw them in the inventory and I'll
yeah.
hand them out.
No, I'm just gonna ask Alder if we get to keep the horses.
Those aren't his horses. Those were loaned out to him. The only horses that are actually his are his horse and his servant's horses. He just rented out the other ones. I mean, they were nice horses, but he's not going to buy brand new horses to go on one hunt. He's wealthy. He's not stupid. There you go. Everyone got 1 gold piece.
oh boy,
Nice. Hey, man. Good job, Cole.
that's right.
No,
Most of you guys have got all day.
Yeah.
and free drink and free food. We're winning.
Have a grand day.
Okay. Were there any other affairs going on throughout the day?
No, I think that's it for Anamara. She doesn't really have much to do, but kind of waiting to hear back from either the sheriff.
Yeah, Milamer's. The last time I went out in town today, he got new encounters, so he's not really. He just wants to sit back, keep on drinking cups of mead, and waiting for the boar's feast.
So
I have a note about the having me feel those turned up lately. Did I ever do that last session?
What was that?
The having me feel those turned up lately, where I have to go talk to Garrett? I'm very basic with my notes.
and I do not even remember how
I came across that.
That was the
the-
want to buy poison, I think. That's
Okay.
Yeah, that's if you're trying to buy poisons from him.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't need poisons.
I'm gonna make some ammo.
I'm gonna definitely do that real quick.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. If you guys have any crafting, transcribing, any of that you want to take care of. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next day.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm fine.
fine with that.
How
How much ammo you making, Wolf? Warlord?
Just some standard and a couple alchemical cartridges. Nothing much.
I guess one question would be, how much does it cost to copy things into spellbooks?
I know where to find it for wizards and stuff.
It uses the same rules as wizards.
It's the same print.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's got that link in the Discord even for it.
Do I?
Yeah, I could have
Where you put it in...
I might. Or someone else probably did under the Rise of the Runelords.
Links used in games.
Is it in there?
Oh, it's
Kind of in there.
I see.
Is it?
Yeah, well, there's preparing wizard spells in there, but if you
But
don't
that's-
find the...
Yeah, that's different. It's transcribing that we're looking for, I believe.
Here it is.
Replacing and copying spellbooks. Wizard spells and bard spellbooks.
Spell copy from another spellbook. A wizard can add a spell whenever you encounter a scroll spellbook, no matter what the source. Spend an hour studying, and then at the end must make a spellcraft of DC plus DC 15 plus the spell's level.
Yeah, after you've deciphered it. But did you say, like, you don't have to decipher those an alchemist?
Yeah, alchemists don't have to.
Alright, so
It's a level 1.
so I guess
It's spellcraft check DC 16. It's still, I don't know how it is. If it's the same way, then the writing of the spell in your thing is like 15 gold pieces in ink and special materials.
Yep, it brings up the price right there. Because it's 10 gold in writing cost for level 1.
That's cool now.
Yeah, let's get that spellcraft.
Alright.
So
The Lancelot's
sitting there
are making like melting lead balls down and everything, and
making
weird ass thing.
Nice.
Yep.
cautions,
Copying out spellbook.
So I will add enlarged person, I guess, to my spellbook, or my formula book.
Oh, nice. I was
Sorry, I was
not paying attention.
Inventory.
You did end up doing it on day number 2 anyways. Turns out you had the time.
Yeah.
So it turns out that, like, the latter half of today is just you guys, like, eating and drinking in the bar, and it seems like getting ready for your next outing of some kind.
Yeah.
Okay. The next morning, do you guys have any plans?
Let's go talk
to good old Broder.
Okay. Yeah, you can go up to his place. It's closed just like it was before.
We'll knock on the door. See if he's home.
You don't get a response.
Alright. We'll
Oh, it's the next day though?
Yeah, this would be day number 3.
Okay,
So in the morning before leaving, you do Melamber's in his room doing push-ups and jumping jacks and exercising.
and then he
Also was pours over his spellbook as he prepares spells for the day.
Okay. Are you changing anything? Or the same setup as the day before?
Yeah, I'm gonna not memorize an acid splash. He's gonna get some of that Set magic John going? Or no, light. So he's got Dave's light. That.
Yeah, that might have helped yesterday.
Yeah, well, the hindsight's
That's 2020.
That's true. That's true.
Alright, so yeah, he spends an hour in the morning prepping his stuff, going through his spell book and working out. Well, I guess he spends
like an
an hour and a half to 2 hours in his room, making it all sweaty.
Okay.
And then he comes down to the common room, has breakfast. It's all changed, shirted up, spell book, wand, not
wands,
scrolls, and bow and quiver on him.
I assume everyone is coming with Animara to go talk to Broderick Quink.
Yeah,
I'm there.
God, that is such a dumb name. Like, I know I shouldn't say that, but it's just so dumb.
Brother Quink. Brother. Brother Quink.
Well, it might be Broderick, but... Eh.
Alright, well, he doesn't answer the phone, I guess. Phone.
She'll
She'll knock a little louder and be like,
Mr.
Quink, are you here?
You said
Come back in a couple days.
Did the sheriff send you?
Yeah.
Go away!
Okay. The sheriff didn't send us.
I've heard that before!
We met a couple days ago.
I didn't meet anyone a few days ago.
I walk
Yeah.
up
And
and
start just pulling stuff out.
I'm
Going to attempt to try and open the lock with my thieves' tools. Is it locked?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember there was like 8 or 9 locks.
Oh shit, that's bad. I can't. I'm not.
Like multiple of them were deadbolts, but
Brother, I'm gonna try it anyway.
I'm
I'm gonna do it. Sorry, to that. I kind of yelled towards the window as you're trying to pick the lock.
I'm just like,
Anything else come up? Any ruins? Anyone on that salon you could tell us?
he actually doesn't have any windows in his house. It's all cobbled together stone.
You made mention of coming back in a couple days, and well, it's a couple days, so yeah, it's only
honestly a day and a half.
give it another day.
You're not gonna go away anytime soon, are you?
Well, if you don't want us to, we don't have to.
I'd love it if you left.
Oh,
Alright, give Brandon the door guys. And he's like, bye! And starts walking up.
Alright, well, do you need anything? Like, you don't seem to leave your house very often, so we can pick up anything if you need us to.
If you could grab some peace and quiet while you're out there, that would be amazing.
They're all out,
Better.
We'll see what we can do there, sir.
and she starts
Figuring
figuring
out,
out
alright, how to make this like that.
and she will
Build this thing. Hey, what are we doing? Leaving. Walking down.
Can
Can we stop by the lighthouse, actually? Or the remains of what was the lighthouse?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Because it's interesting, and it was a giant lighthouse, so if she could, Animara would like try and climb up to where it's in the two precarious, like kind of look at the remains of the place.
Yeah, it's had like a pretty much a complete collapse in on itself, but that does make it quite easy. If you want to give me like a climb check up there, I will say it's still going to be difficult, but it would be easier than most collapsed buildings.
I
Walk up and I see her about to climb up there, and I'm like, let me give you a boost. I hold my hand out.
Step
Step on my hand and try.
Alright.
I'll let you do an aid another action to try and help her. You don't have anything in climb?
Oh, I thought 8 nether was just a D.
Oh shoot!
No, you rolled the appropriate skill, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Just rolled a bluff.
And it's normally just one
Yeah, no, I
person.
don't know why that happened.
There.
You can have a +2 on your check, Anamora.
Great. Now I'm at a +0 overall for climb checks.
Oh, it's literally going to be impossible.
Oh, that.
No. Like I said, this would be easier than most collapsed building, and by that I meant it was doable. But not if you only have a +0.
Well, that's would be a +0. I have a -2 normally for the armor check.
Yeah. I can tell you the DC if you want to feel like just a little better.
That's probably a DC 25.
Oh man.
No, it's a DC 22.
Oh, it's yeah. Well, she
Just want to kind of look around at it.
and if she
He
doesn't climb up
up.
super well, oh well.
Yeah, you can you can walk around about half of the lighthouse, and that's where a lot of the debris is. The rest of it's fallen onto the beach down below or into the water.
Mhm.
Is there anything particular you're trying to do as you're like looking around at this lighthouse?
Not particularly, I guess. She knew that it was there, and she'd heard about it collapsing. Or she knew that it had collapsed. 'Cause when did it collapse?
Oh, I don't know the exact time, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah, so I think she's just looking around at it, seeing, because she doesn't really come to Standpoint very often, and so it's kind of like one of those, ooh, it's a tourist thing, so she's doing the tourist thing.
Yeah. Yeah, then, I mean, I can just give you a general idea of what it looks like, I guess. It was quite a big lighthouse, at least for a town of, if you want to call it a town, a place of this size. And it looks like it collapsed in on itself. Like, a big chunk of the debris fell in from, like, the side that you're on. And the general conclusion that pretty much everyone in town has is that it was faulty construction because it happened shortly after it was built. And that's basically what the engineers, not the engineers who made it, but the engineers who appraised it afterwards said was like, you hired the wrong people. Don't have them build things here anymore.
Okay.
Alright, I want to grab Lothar. I'm like, come here, buddy.
And
I kind of want to walk over to.
walk north a little bit to this Junker's Edge area and look out over that edge and then see what I can see. And then there is something I'm looking for, though.
Yeah, if there's anything particular you're looking for, I'd like to know.
I'm
looking for something that's like down the hill or something. It's only like 40 feet away, like a piece of trash or a freaking rock or something. It's kind of on its own.
Okay, yeah, there's trash that gets dumped here all the time by Gorgie and his employees, so there's definitely trash down there.
Is there anything that kind of like stands out?
Guess if you gave me an appraise check, I'd let you know.
Okay.
They have a trait specifically for this.
I'm looking for an easily seen target to shoot my bow at.
I mean, I don't really think there is, to be honest. It's just piles of trash that gets thrown down. Maybe you could pick out a rock, like on that little jut in the land there. You could like choose a rock as a target.
Alright,
Well, I point to a rock, like a little jut of rock. How far would you say it is?
Like 100 feet away.
100 feet? Sweet. Alright, now
Unsling my bow and I'm like, alright, Lothar, first gun versus bow test.
One shot. Just hit
Hit the tip of that rock. And unsling my bow and like aim at that rock and fire an arrow at it.
This is a bullshit test.
What? Yeah.
Your range increment's 80 feet.
What's that?
Your range increment's 80 feet. So it's a challenge even for you.
I'm trying to show him the superiority of the bow. But
Okay.
At the same time, that's why I asked you to decide the footage, so it wasn't me. But yeah, so I shoot and, I mean, do you want me to roll an attack roll for it? Or?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Using the appropriate modifiers.
Oh, wow. That's actually out of my first range increment as well.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Really got that. It's outside of mine by like, I don't even know how many increments. 40 feet, bud. You're on your, you get a -4 on you.
I mean,
If you choose to shoot. So what would you say? Do I hit it?
I think we'll get both people's rolls before we decide.
Okay. I actually call for a behind the castle roll. Oh,
Okay.
I mean, if you want, I don't have a problem with that.
If
I'm gonna accept this challenge. I want it to work. Now let's know what happens.
This would be the part where you roll it.
Yeah, I gotta go back to my stuff.
Okay, Malamber strikes true, hits the rock, and unfortunately,
I didn't put my modifier.
minus on there. Oops.
yep. And I also took that tower roll as not being Malamber's. I took it as Lothar's. So scratch what I said about Malamber. Let's get the modifier in there for Lothar before we. Okay. Yeah. Both of you fall short of the target.
Damn it!
And that you guys obviously the arc for which both of you hit is different, but you both land at about the same distance. A good 30 feet short of your target.
Malamber slings his bow across his chest and immediately pulls out his little notebook and starts writing.
He's like,
Alright, pulled the gun and the bow, fell short of the
target. He's
put notes down about it. Yeah, it's the last time I do that, by the way. And he looks up at you with a raised eyebrow and he's like, oh, why is that? That's an expensive dick swing right there.
Oh.
The bullets that you make, they come at a high cost in raw materials?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's
Good to note as well. And he starts writing something else. He's like, I probably shot one silver piece. If that. I shot 5. Oh, and he's writing more stuff in there. You just hear his quill scratching and scratching on it. And then he sets the notebook and he's like, alright, cool. What's next? Honestly,
you
want to try and climb up this lighthouse? Because I kind of want it.
And
I'm going to give it a shot, but
no
offense,
Amar, but you're not really built for that.
no, I'm not. But
if you
you get up there,
maybe you
you could drop a ladder down for me.
I've
Got some rope.
Actually, I don't actually with rope. Oops.
I don't think anyone owns a ladder high enough to get to the top of this lighthouse.
Yeah. I fucking normally always get rope. I forgot to buy rope. You got any pitons?
Or any
You
other?
got anybody?
Or kunai.
I can't
Can't believe I didn't do it with this character. I normally always do. No wonder I'm fucking at light fucking encumbered. Oh, look, does someone want to give me a boost? I'm gonna try and climb up there.
I
I can try and help you, I guess. Malamber's gonna run around the side of the rock and go to the restroom quick.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Let's get Anamara's aid another.
Okay. Well, Look, honey, just put your hands down. I'll just try this myself.
No, I think you make it like 30 feet up before you're like just like too tired to go any farther. Like you just overextended yourself trying to get up quickly.
All right. This is just too hard.
Oh, well, maybe we can come back one other day.
You give me some pitons, and that's such. I could probably get up here, but I don't know what we're exactly looking for. I am intrigued. I'd like to see what's up here.
You look here, though. You never really like looked at it.
No, no. You don't understand. I do stupid things.
Hunter comes around the rock, belting up his pants.
You want to try and climb this? I can't do it.
He looks it up and down and he's like, no.
No, thank you.
Okay. Sounds good.
Well, what was it that Albert said that the theater is putting on a performance of us? Would you want to go?
Oh, yeah.
Is that today? There's a Dracus?
I think it was today. Not exactly. I can't remember what he said they were happening, but he had a manservant waiting outside of it, right?
Yeah, he'd sent one of his manservants to go get him a place for the first showing of the Heroes of Sandpoint.
Well, we might as well go see if we can get a seat to see how we wear, right? Maybe they'll just let that.
Honestly, why not? I'd like to see this.
Alright, what road do we take?
Like which
I mean, the most direct one?
Well, Anamar doesn't really know the town super well, so she's just gonna follow Lothar.
Yeah, and I guess I'm following Lothar too.
I'm looking on the map to find the theater. Sorry.
It's
One of the bigger buildings.
It's kind of dead. It's
almost dead center of the town.
Oh yeah, I found it.
Oh, and just as like an idea for that lighthouse of its age, we're talking like multiple millennia.
Oh, okay.
Like an ancient ruin is a better way to put it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's what Broder Quink was talking about when he brought up the old light.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, wait, so
Broder studying that lighthouse thing right next to where his house is at?
Yeah.
Just so does he think that's like a Thessalonian thing?
Yeah, he thinks it's an ancient Thessalonian war machine that could spew fire over a mile long.
Oh,
Wow. There we go.
That clicks, and I definitely I'm planning on getting pitons and such to try that again. I want to get up there.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Lothar. I was like, we need to come back here for a climb, man.
Or now, without you scholars, I would never would have known that. I don't care about Thessalonian. Like, you should see my notes. Knowledge of Thessalonian shit. I'm not sure why we put each map of this. I didn't care. But then I heard that. And I want to know.
Yeah,
But
that's a big gun.
We're leaving away.
And we're going to go south, east, until we get to a crossroads. And then we take it.
I mean, let's be fair. Quink hasn't shown you any proof, and everyone in town thinks he's crazy.
And that means he's a genius.
Yes. He's the Albert Einstein of Sandpoint. Of all of Borussia.
Alright, well, that's actually on, I mean,
I'm willing to
We go to the general store. I'm saying this to Lothar and Animar. I'm like,
I'll
I'll go to the general store and we can get some.
Oh, wait a minute. I won't.
I don't. Oh shit! Yeah.
Told you she was pretty,
Red hair too.
right? She's going for my own heart.
Well, yeah, I'm starting to say that, and then I just starts acting weird because I guess I don't know any of it yet. And I was like, how about you guys go to the general store and get us some climbing gear? I mean, digging gear, and I'll go see what's going on in the theater. Or I'll just wait for you to go to the general store.
Is it
Weird? I don't really need anything, but. Look, are you? You're kind of. Heat on climbing gear.
You
Get that.
would be
Right. We lost them in the games as well.
Oh dang, did we? We did?
That's it.
He's in the Discord, boys, so.
Yeah. You there,
He's
Travis?
just texting.
Oh, he just dipped.
There you went.
He
Oh,
said he lost internet.
yeah. That was gonna be my guess. Well, shit.
That's our local.
I
I
can.
Animar
Animar can. If Lothar's acting wonky, she can walk in, and if you guys can't do it, she can buy some pitons.
Yeah. And, I mean, Emma just doesn't want to go inside. He's like, I'll just stay out here and make sure nothing weird happens. And we'll wait for Lothar to get done going to the bathroom.
Oh,
Okay. But he like doesn't go into the general store.
Yeah. So, yeah, Animar will go to this shop and get some pitons.
Okay. Yeah, it's only 25% of the price. Like the owner, Mr. Vinder, knows that you're one of the heroes, and he's willing to give you a deal on your first time visiting, which he tells you about after you throw the pitons on.
Yep. Probably
There's a whole climbing kit. I don't know if he has it in there, but it has like rope, pulleys, a dozen pitons, a hammer, a grappling hook.
I don't see why you wouldn't. That seems fairly standard.
Alright. And that's only 5 silver pieces on average in the market.
Is it?
I mean, the thing that I'm looking at, but I mean, in character.
I don't know how
Its parents are in the
You're looking at 2E, bud.
It shouldn't cost any more than a gold piece, Animar.
I think you're looking at 2nd edition.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, because when I looked,
Right, I was looking at 2nd edition.
if you look at least Roll20's version, let's see if Nethy's has a 1E version. Yeah, okay, so they do have a 1E version. It's 80 gold.
Oh.
So a quarter of that, it would be 20 gold.
You said that it was going to be what? 25%?
Yeah, so it'd be 20 gold.
Okay. That does look. Yeah, Animar's at 27 gold, so.
Is anyone willing to help?
Bonus on 5. Oh, that'd be at a 0.
Without the ace, that'd be nice. I could almost make the DC.
So if you got an assist and you took 20, which means 20 times the amount of time it would normally take to climb, then you could just automatically get up there.
Well, that'd be nice.
Whoa, are we talking? I just disappeared. I don't know if you guys realized I lost it and I'm gone.
Yeah, we saw.
Yeah. I'm not, but I hopped on my
Fucking Discord so I can at least talk.
Okay, that's good. I can.
Animar went into the vendor general store. I'm sitting outside because I don't want to go in for reasons you don't know about. And he's going to buy climber's kit.
Key.
Oh, okay. Oh, sheet, sorry. It's pretty expensive, but it's 80 gold, but he's giving us a 75% discount.
Dang. Whoa,
First time. Because we
We
saved
saved
the
it
town.
out.
Oh,
Very nice.
Alright, well, sweet. You have that kind of money? I have no money to tell.
I have 27 gold only.
Lothar has 1 gold piece.
I got 22 gold pieces.
gold.
Alright. Yeah, so tomorrow, if you go 10, and she'll put 10 in as well. Lambert, and we can have a climber's kit.
Alright, sweet. And when you come back out, he's like, who's the best climber?
Not
Anna. She needs 8 out of 20. She needs 8 out of 20. I got plus 2. Oh, good. So,
Yeah, it's Lothar.
you just can't roll.
The one who's the best.
Yeah.
Well, I got a plus 2 as well.
Well, that's fine. I can roll for you. If it was like we were going into combat, I might say no, but this is pretty easy.
Honestly, that's plus 2. Me or you got a plus 2. So there's plus 4, and if we take like a long time, it can.
Yeah, okay. I'll
You
give
got
it
a
a
job.
shot. I'm down.
What is your plus?
Plus 6.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, it should definitely be you.
You should.
I'll get up there. I don't mind.
So did we buy the kit though and get it into someone's inventory?
I'll put it in mine, or I'll start finding it.
No, I can grab the item as long as Lothar and Anamara, so Calvin and Travis, you know. Or no, it was Milamber, wasn't it, who was paying? Because Lothar's broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as long as you guys, you know, each get rid of 10 gold, then I can throw the kit on him.
Yeah, I got rid of my deck.
I just did.
Yeah,
this shouldn't be too heavy.
It shouldn't affect me
at all.
Oh, I might not even have a kit.
It might be really heavy.
Yeah, I don't have the climbing kit. I don't know what book that's in, but you can just add it in next session. It's not that hard. Just put the information in there. Okay. Which one of you wants to try and give him another check?
Well, I think that we both do it. And we tell him to take his time and use all the stuff in the kit.
Well, generally speaking, it's normally.
You just have to type in kit first and then scroll down to climbers.
Do I?
Yeah. It's in your ultimate equipment and your core rules.
Oh
I
shit.
think if you're spelling climbers, you gotta put that apostrophe.
Yeah, I didn't do that. So I just put kit in and I found it.
See, I wish they would make it just more simplified. Come on.
No, it's fine.
But it does weigh 5, whoever's carrying it. Oh, dude.
Yeah, he's fine.
I'm fine.
He's still got 12 pounds after that.
I think I'm encumbered, or I don't know where I'm at right now.
That's an expensive kit.
Cause
Yeah,
I can't believe you guys won't buy this, but hey, that's a good discount. I'll take
hey,
it.
dude.
I'll use it, guys.
If this ever costs a Lodian, man, then the starting, we just don't even get a rope. It's in there for the future. It's in the kit. Oh,
No
look
shit,
this,
so
I could lower a 50-foot rope.
Nice.
Yeah. This is worth it, guys.
It's
Funny, I've been gone and I get back to it. Thanks, boys.
Alright, so I have you guys put your feet down.
Down, whatever, hands down to help me get up there, and you guys aid me.
No, they just let you fall.
How's that for me?
I can't see.
Guess you'll never know.
I have no idea. Next week, you'll know next week.
Do we? So we're making the climber kit, right? So we can add the +2 on our skills for this.
Not for you guys. It's for the person climbing.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb and then lower a rope.
So, yeah. So we're getting 8 another checks from both of you. I think 2 of you can help him. I think that's fair.
Alright. I
I
got
got 17 minus 2 for 15, so that's 8. Yeah, that's an 8.
Okay, let's see how this roll goes. Unfortunately, you guys won't be able to see it.
Weren't we gonna
Gonna take 20? Or is that something we can do?
I mean, you can, but the situation's changed, so you might as well try and not take 20 times as long as it normally
I
would.
was just like, let's go. I had to climb
Okay.
swing the dick and be a badass.
So total modifiers are plus 12 for Lothar, right? And he rolled an 18.
Wait. So if you roll like, so it's the
30.
adjusted or
Yeah, 30.
18 adjusted. Oh,
He got 30.
So we got-
That's,
Shit, that was my after roll.
that's our highest dice roll so far.
Nice.
I think it's gonna be a minute before we get up that high again. Yeah, so Lothar, it takes you like I don't know, let's roll 2d6. I think that's a fair number for the height and difficulty. It's gonna take you about 9 minutes to get up there, securing all your pittons and your rope, and then putting a rope down for them to climb up.
Nice.
And then if you guys want to give me climb checks, they will be a lot easier now. Because you will have the +2 from the climber's kit. And then it's easier to just climb up a rope than it would be anything else.
That's crazy.
What? What's crazy?
Oh, I thought he just did 15 as well. That was over.
Dun, dun,
I think
dun.
the DC's only 5 though.
With a rope, but I don't know.
Yeah, generally speaking, unless there's a modifier. Which there isn't. There isn't any weird stuff that would affect this. But there still was a chance you guys couldn't do it.
Yeah. I don't know. I now have a +0 for my climbing, so ease. Not bad for me.
Yeah, so all of you are able to get up there.
Nice.
Ah.
And then it starts saying return to the game zone and starts counting down from 10.
Right. You see magical red lights pop up on all of your chests.
You could
Get out there further.
And suddenly you can't pull out any of your weapons. So I'm sorry to disappoint you guys, but when you get up here, it really is just a pile of rubble that's collapsed in on itself, and there's like a small spot you guys can hop down from where you climbed up. It's about 10 feet down from this rock you're on, where there's like a small part of a room that's basically empty, and there's like the vague outlines of walls on the coast.
Well,
So now that we know that,
now that we as players finally figured out that this was what all Robert was talking about, is there
Yeah.
any
like
writings
or anything
up here that we can see?
Yeah, give me some perception checks.
Yeah,
I'm definitely looking around. You said we could jump down to the other area?
That's what I'm talking about right now. It's like a little 10-foot jump into this room.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking around and such. This
Okay.
is
My internet.
It just is dead. I'm gone, boys. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
There's no place.
Guy with the best perception.
I know.
No.
And
And I'm not there.
Dun dun dun. Okay, double checking languages real quick.
Well, if we find a language, if we find something and Anamara doesn't understand it, she was like, if there's a language, she would reach into her pocket and pull out a small greenish vial, I'd say this was, and she would cast comprehend languages
Oh, nice.
as extract.
Okay. Yeah, I think that you will find some arcane marks that both of you can identify as Thessalian. And it looks like it's been cast by magic here. Like this was a magical arcane mark that's been placed on the wall, and it's hard to tell like what is written in it, but if you guys could give me like some spellcraft checks, I might be able to piece it together for you. Normally I would say linguistics, but this is like magical, so it's more understanding this person's language than anything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So if it's Thessalonian,
Yeah.
Is that what you said it was?
Yeah.
She didn't pop the.
extract comprehend languages yet, because she do it.
Yeah, both of you do. Yeah, unfortunately though, Anamara, it's impossible for you to make heads or tails of this person's like arcane ruins. Malamber though, you can't pick up most of it, but there is something called the Hellstorm Flume. That's the one part that you can pick out, and it seems like the the flume might have been something else. It kind of like scribbles off like that was like a I don't know the best way to put it, like a mistake maybe.
Alright, he says this and he's like, Animal, and he looks at Lothar, but Lothar's just got a vapid look on his face.
I'm right here. What are you talking about?
If you come and look at this, I think this is the Hellstorm Flume.
And when you say that, Malamber, it disappears.
What?
You see like a orangish red few pieces of ember fall off the writing as it disappears.
That's cool. She's like, I'd see it
I saw it.
but I didn't read it, but that's a little
scary. Malamber pulls out his notebook super quick and writes some shit down real quick.
Oh,
Well,
That was weird.
Yeah. You're
you're
telling me.
what happened?
Some ancient arcane Thessalonian magical writing was there for a second and disappeared.
Decided to burn away now that we read it.
Said
Something about the Hellstorm Flume.
Could that be like what the old light is that Brother's talking about?
If you guys want to give me knowledge history checks, and if they're exceptional, I will give you some information.
Ooh.
I got nada.
I wouldn't ask Lothar to do it anyway, since he's not knowledgeable about the Thessalonians.
Don't worry about it. Plus 6 gave me an 8.
See, that looks like
I'm just saying.
that looks like a plus 20 to me.
I knew it. Stupid shit like that.
Yeah, no, I can't give you any information with that roll. I was thinking more like a 25.
Alright.
Maybe we can talk to Robert about this.
For sure.
Sure. He was looking for evidence about this, so.
And I try to the best of like my memory capacity and all that, and I got a really high intelligence being an arcane caster, but I try to write down the words as they looked on the wall in Thessalonian, the arcane way they were written.
Okay, give me a linguistics check.
God, I
Can't
can't
remember this. It sucks. It's horrible.
He got a 5 with a nat 1.
Damn.
Rough.
That's so basically, I just, it happened all too quickly for me.
And
I'm just like,
fuck. I
I know what it says, but if there's anything else in the way it was written, I'm not going to show Broder.
Would Anamara have been able to try and copy it down?
Or like, see if she could just
Remember the, like, not what it meant, but at least
the
the stroke
sort of thing.
I would let you try linguistics, but it would be much harder because, like, he's just trying to copy down the one piece that he understood, and it wasn't like it wasn't something you understood.
Right. Yeah. She's looking at like, oh, maybe I can just copy the strokes and that stuff,
Yes.
and maybe didn't understand what it was, but it's at least getting the words down. So.
No, unfortunately not.
All right.
And I think actually the two of you might understand why it was difficult for you to transcribe. There were many Thessalonian intellectuals that believed that there was a lot of power in words, especially when it comes to magic. And speaking some of these words of power has been known to have different triggers. So this is potentially a trigger of that word of power.
Oh. All right. So that's interesting. Let's see what Broderick has to say about this. We'll see if he can have any ideas.
See if Broderick has any.
It took us a while. I don't think he ever made it up here, I would say.
It took us a lot of gold, too.
Well,
Lufa and Anamar, how do you feel about leaving these pitons or ropes on this thing?
So
There's easy access room.
We'll come back.
Or for Broder. Oh no,
Just says for a friend.
yeah, I've been not great at climbing, so I would hope we could take it
I
down.
can leave it here, that's fine. But what if we need it later? Yeah, I was thinking about that, but if we tell Broder that we found a way to the top and there's an easy way to get there, maybe he can come up here and look at it. Give him time to figure some stuff out. That's fine. I mean, he's got a house right next to it, and I don't feel like he does much else.
Yeah, we can
Bring him up here right now, maybe.
That's good.
Yeah.
Alright. My guy said crawl down the rope.
Okay, I'm not gonna make you guys roll to climb down.
Sweet.
We're looking at the one fall.
So we'll
Once you guys stumble on the ground, kind of walk over to Broder's
door and knock on it.
and like,
So hi, brother. We kind of did some looking around at the top of the old lake, and we found something. If you want to talk about it.
Did the sheriff send you?
Doesn't matter.
Yes, he did. The sheriff sent us.
Go away!
Damn.
I think we did that last time too.
You said it all 3 times.
what does the hell start flying to you?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Do you
You want to go to the top of the old place?
I would love to.
Alright, well, if you're talking Salam, you have a rope and everything, we can help you up there.
When I was young, my mother said, don't talk to strangers.
Well, we're not strangers.
We
We talked to you yesterday.
You
You saw us in person.
So
That means we're not strangers. You know my name.
Now
You're friends.
What was your name?
You
You
knew,
but
brother. It's
Anamar.
Anamara.
See, now we're friends.
And
Melandra and Lothar. Let's go.
Can you give me a diplomacy check?
Oh boy,
Just say Anamar.
Yeah.
great. Oh, okay. Whew.
Yeah.
This one wasn't gonna be helpful.
No. I'm not going up to the lighthouse. My adventuring days are behind me.
Okay.
Melandra
Go for it.
looks at those two and he's like, alright, brother, we're gonna leave. I just want you to know that there's a rope now secured with pitons going up to the top of the ruined lighthouse. There's some cool Thessalonian stuff that was written up there. But we'll just go moseying on down the trail if you ever feel like you want to walk up there and take a look.
So not only did you threaten me in my own home, you're desecrating the biggest, most important relic of our town.
How did he threaten you there, sir?
You actually don't remember, or do you just want him to repeat it?
I wanted to repeat it.
Oh. Okay. Okay, weirdo. I remember you. You're the ones who came into my house the other day and threatened to steal my book
No, what?
without my permission. That's theft.
Yeah. By the basic sense of the law, I guess, yeah. But now we're trying to better communicate with you about the things that you're interested in, and we found something that we thought we could help you with your research. But, well, I guess we'll just have to go watch a play at the theater instead.
You won't be getting a response.
There's a rope leading up to the top when you stop being an old fuck, and then Lando walks up.
I think the only one who might not just straight up hate Motor is Anamara.
He's just an old man.
Yeah, to be fair, you're the only one who hasn't been rude to him, which is why he was talking to you.
Okay.
But he's a heartache to crack.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there soon, brother. Have a good
Good
rest of your day.
We'll talk later.
Alright, so we'll head to the
Theater.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go see if they got your musket. Let's go see if they got your musket. Musket? Right? Yeah, musket.
Right for the plank.
I doubt they do.
If you guys want to give me some like knowledge local, I might be able to give you some information about the theater as you're walking over there.
I think it's Jess Lothar with knowledge local now.
Is it? I know he has it. Why do you have such a huge modifier in it?
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of freaking me out right now.
Plus 12.
Let's see. I got.
Why is there miscellaneous?
Plus 6.
I don't know. Did you misclick?
It's a trait. It's in your trait.
He doesn't have a trait that gives him 6.
I got nothing.
And you don't have any feats. Where did this 6 come from?
I
Go ahead.
I think it's supposed to be a miscellaneous modifier of nothing.
Yeah,
Me too. I have no idea how that happened.
Okay, give me a new roll.
My bad.
This guy's like, I know all of the things.
Even worse.
Okay, yeah, I think beyond what I've already told you about how it's like a very impressive theater, there isn't much more to tell you.
Yeah, it's definitely not my jam.
I don't go there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's high society and you're not. That's right. I like to hang out with low lives like you guys. Ooh. I need to create water. For that motherfucker burn. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, we walk up. Well, we're coming from the north, so we walk all the way around to the front, or we come through from the back.
So there is like a stage entrance in the back you could approach, but that's where like performers would go in and out. And then there's the main entrance up front.
I'm going through that way. I don't even care.
The stage
We're
entrance?
following Rothars because we know no better.
Yeah, technically. Yeah.
I mean, I think you could use common sense since you've walked up and down the street and saw the front entrance, but you could go up in the back door if you want.
I'm going through the back door.
No, I know that was directed at everyone else.
Oh yeah. See, I'm being old
An
douchey
ass.
fucking Lothar. Coming to be this way.
I think. I don't know. I don't know which one Animar would do. I think she's trying to be nicer to people and is very timid, so she would probably go to the front. Like, well, we probably should go to the front though, shouldn't we?
Sure. As he keeps walking, he goes to the back.
I follow Lothar.
All right, Animar will go to the front this time.
Okay.
It's a pincer attack.
Yeah, when you guys get to the back door, it's locked.
He
Like his hand kind of darts to his pouch where these tools are, and he's just like,
no. I did say I was gonna make a difference. I did say I was gonna try and change. No,
sorry, Mel.
We can't go through here. I'm not gonna break it. But it
It would have been fun. Mel just shrugs his shoulders like, alright, whatever. Then he follows it.
And
I go back up
the front. I'm sad. His head's down. He
really
really
wanted
wanted to just do it, but he's trying to make a change. Not
Okay.
such an asshole.
Then we will start with what Animar is doing, and you guys can hop in at like an appropriate time. You know, after you've given her moment.
Nice.
Yeah, so you go up to the front door. It's not locked. It's not like business time right now, so there isn't anyone there like greeting you. You know, trying to get you to spend your cash. But when you go in, there is basically like a gathering hall, a bunch of carved out pieces of wood that have been made into very nice looking seats, like giant logs basically is what they are. They've been carved into very nice seats and furnished. And you see multiple people cleaning out the rows, and then a bunch of people on the stage in the back that are setting up props and rehearsing scenes and whatnot. It looks very busy down on the stage.
Okay. And I'll walk up to the first person that. Excuse me, do you know where Cedric is? I'd like to talk to him about getting a seat for the show tonight, or whenever the show's supposed to start.
Of course, madam. Give me one moment, please.
Okay.
She smiles and she backs away until she gets to like the curtain off to the side, and she comes back a few minutes later as you're, I assume, like watching everyone do all their busy work on stage.
Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine that's when me and Lothar pop up while he was waiting.
Yeah.
She.
That's
Right.
Okay, then you see everything I described before. And shortly after, you see... I'm still confused about how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry for interrupting, but it's a weird fucking name.
I pronounce it Cedric. That's just...
Maybe...
Wait, how do you spell it? I got it.
C-Y-R-D-I-K. I thought it was D-A-K. Or D-R-A-K.
No, it's C-Y-R-D-A-K.
Oh. Cedric? Cedric.
I'm gonna go with Surdak. I just like Googled it, and that's the first translator that popped up.
Okay.
It's a name from D&D, though, it says. Yeah. So Serdak comes out front, and he seems very happy and surprised to see the three of you here. He's like, the heroes of Sandpoint. I was gonna have to reach out to you in the next few days. It's a surprise to see you here.
Well, thanks. Well, we can reach out. Oh,
Well, I was gonna ask you to, and only if you have the time, to come and do some reenactments of your, of your scenes in front of the cathedral the other day.
Okay, so you haven't written your play yet. You're still writing it?
No, we'll be performing in only a few days. It's not that complicated. We've made a few adjustments to the basic flow of the story, but a big chunk of it is more of a third act type thing, focusing predominantly on the heroes of Sandpoint and their actions throughout the city.
What changes have you made?
Just a few minor ones, a love triangle, a few things like that, a little bit more focus on prominent figures around the town and expanding the scope of your influence beyond, just a teeny bit beyond what it actually was, something to keep the crowd even more entertained than they already would be.
Huh. What? I'm confused. Love triangle. This thing took 30 minutes to do.
But don't worry about it. It's not something you need to worry about. There were a few other people involved in protecting the town, and it has something to do with them. I'd be happy to run the entirety of the script by you if you're interested in joining.
That would be pleasant, actually. If you could look at it, that'd be great.
Joining the play?
Of course.
Oh, I'd rather read it first to make sure that nothing's weird.
I'm in.
You know what? Fuck it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he very excitedly he snaps his fingers, and you see a younger child come over, and she has this very thin looking recently binded piece of papers that says "The Sandpoint Heroes: A Tale of Lost Love."
Oh boy. And then
Lambert starts laughing.
Not too loud, but he's definitely chuckling pretty good.
Yeah, and this very much looks like a traditional tragedy. Definitely not a comedy. Think something along the lines of Romeo and Juliet and the way they frame it. And it has all of your guys' set pieces, but it actually follows. It also adds on little bits to the before and after. Nothing major, just reasons for you guys to be here and stuff you did afterwards. And really, like he says, elaborating on the fact that you helped the entirety of the town. So there's a scene where a couple of you are running around trying to help the handful of proper firemen that they have around town, trying to put out goblin fires. And then there's a scene where one of you protects a small child from a near-death experience at the hand of a goblin dog and one of the commanders. And a lot of little changes like that. And it's not just the three of you in it. There's actually 8 total characters that are being called the Heroes of Sandpoint. And one of the love triangle they were talking about involves 3 of these characters.
What was the slug?
Yeah, no, and that's true. Slugless and his brother are in the store.
nice.
Yeah.
One of the love triangles is a slug.
Yeah, it was Slugless, his brother, and then the passion of the love triangle was this fiery Ifrit.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, as long as you guys are cool with that, then yeah, they're basically Sardic is just looking for you guys to reenact your fight scenes and then do a few other scenes that show you doing stuff around town during the before and after of the fight.
Yeah, I guess we could do this. Do you have props for us to use, or do you want like Lothar and me to use our gun and bombs in your theater?
No, of course, no actual weapons will be used. We can get you glass vials, and I will have some of the lads in the back that work on props make something that looks like your weapon, Lothar.
Okay.
And actually, Lothar, you would know this, that Sardic is actually a very good musician. Not only a very good musician, but he's also knowledgeable in a lot of illusion-based magic. So that's where a lot of the special effects come from. So he can make it look like you're throwing bombs or
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
That way he doesn't need to. It makes things cheaper, effectively, and that's part of the reason his quality is so high.
Well, I'll walk up to him like, do you know what this sounds like? Do you know how loud to make my gun go off?
I wasn't there when you fired it, but I've heard some rumors. I would love to hear you fire it in person so I could more accurately attune the sounds and the imagery.
We should go do that.
Yeah, I can make a bomb too if you need it.
That would be perfect. I was not expecting this at all. I really do appreciate it.
Of course. Do you want to do it here, or where should we go?
No. We're not going to do that inside. How safe are those bombs?
Why are you asking?
Well, if you're not going to burn anything down, we could just use the entrance that most of the employees use. We can just go out back and throw it basically where we do all our breaks when we're off stage.
Yeah, I could do it there. Lothar's gun does fire bullets pretty far though, so it may not be the best spot for him.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'll just shoot it up in the air and hope nobody gets hit.
What's the farthest you've ever seen one of those bullets go?
Well,
To be fair, they can go far. I'm not accurate at all. If we go outside the town, I can shoot it. And
What if-
whatever happens, happens.
There's plenty of props out back. If we could use one of the older ones, would that be enough to slow the bullet down?
You give me something to shoot, I'll just shoot it.
Perfect. I'd love to see how the wound works. We might be able to imitate it.
Okay.
And he takes you guys out back, and basically just sets up it's like a prop, like a very simple wooden prop that has a little bit of paper mache on it, and it just looks like a shrubbery.
Into the shrubbery.
Then you guys could shoot and light it on fire, so he can see it.
Yeah, I'm shooting once. This is it. This is a very expensive shot, but you better understand what it sounds like. I want to replicate my awesome handmade gun.
Of course. And he stands back a decent distance from you guys, maybe 10 feet away.
That wasn't my touch.
I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
Nah, I know. I hate it.
And I marked out the bomb.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and he once again he thanks you, and he says it's going to help him with making the effects a lot more enticing, specifically with the sound of the gun. his was going to be more like something more akin to a thunderstone, but now he knows that it needs to be not as high pitched and a little bit sharper. And with the bombs, he assumed it was something akin to alchemist fire, but this is definitely a step above that.
Yeah.
Okay, then he basically like tells you in like 2 days' time, the first showing is going to happen of the play that you guys are now in.
Okay. Fuck yeah.
So do we need to practice anything? Go through some scripts.
Since you guys don't really have that many roles, it's mostly just making sure like you won't have to do much practice. Like I'd say like no more than like 2 hours a day, and that's if you want to be in like peak performance. Though Cerdic makes it clear that like if you guys aren't as good as like a regular actor, that like it'll be fine because you guys aren't paid actors or local talent or anything like that, and you're the heroes of Sandpoint. Everyone's gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he would definitely appreciate it if you guys all showed up for like if you did a few hours today, a few hours tomorrow, and then a few hours the day of. Probably a little bit less the day of, just because you will be doing the actual acting then.
I got the plan right now. I'll practice.
Yeah.
I have no plans.
I can help out with what
Okay. Then something that none of you have. I don't think you guys want to give me some perform checks to see how well you do
I was
today.
waiting for that. I just looked through my stuff. I have.
Not that skill.
Nope. I don't know.
So it's just yeah, if you have it, you could throw it out there, but otherwise it's just a charisma check.
Wow.
Yeah, because you have to add it. It's one of the things you have to add. Like I just threw it on. Oh no, I threw the wrong one on Lothar. You have to throw perform on there yourself. It's just charisma. If you don't have it. So in this case, we need a reroll from Milamber because he has a -2. You don't. You can just in the top. You can just. There's a perform skill you can add.
Yeah.
You don't have to type it all out yourself.
Where?
Oh.
I found it.
There you go, bud. Okay, yeah, as expected, most of you are not good at this.
That is beautiful.
That's okay. Anamara definitely like picks up the slack, and you guys can tell she's definitely doing better than both of you by like a large margin. Maybe she was an actor in a previous life. And Cerdic, he gives you maybe an annoying amount of compliments once you get off stage, and marveling at the fact, like after he questions you, that you haven't done any acting before, and says that if you're ever interested, that he could get you some acting roles around here, and possibly even in Magnamar if you keep showing off like this.
Well, we'll see how well it actually works. We'll see how well I do.
Okay.
I don't know.
He's totally cool with that. I think we'll call the session right here
Okay.
with you guys acting. I don't think anyone saw that coming today. Eh?
No, no. Honestly, I was just glad we didn't die. I was like, oh my god, the three of us, there's no fucking frontline fighter. We're gonna die.
This
That's
is it.
it. We're so screwed. We would have fought.
Don't worry.
No, fortunately,
I think, honestly, we would have killed.
a lot of people.
fortunately, this like basically second act of the book is a lot of RP. Now, next session, there will probably be more combat, so hopefully we're not missing 2 people. I do want to let you guys know something here. Let me end the stream real quick. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful week.